them off. Ugh. Hold on.
Alright.
Oh my.
You're
Oh
alive.
shit. Oh. Oh, almond. Ah.
I like how we go live. I press the button and you're immediately like, oh shit, almond. Oh, ah.
I
Okay.
kicked her so hard.
All right. So last episode, you guys arrived to the new village, where you met a savory bar by the name of Rios, who was, he had a light blue skin, white ghostly hair, and he was talking to Orbweave, Demonia, and O'Flanagan. He was mentioning things about how the oppressed don't know they're oppressed until it's too late, etc., etc. Meanwhile, Corwin was fighting for his life just about down the village road against Mort's father, who showed up and wanted to take his kid back. Corwin was able to get Mort to get away and fared off against this other larger Dragonborn. The Dragonborn himself having a dark purple color to him, just a sinister-looking pair of eyes and a lot of muscle. Corwin was able to overtake him and put him down, and you guys eventually regrouped, and you were talking about what you would like to do with him, if you should be, taken care of, or if you should leave him be. O'Flanagan wasn't too up for the idea of just killing him, and he went out back to the main road to see what was going on. And when he did, and you guys caught up to him, you saw another Aarakocra just down the road. He had brown feathers, seemed to be more of like a hawk. He had very similar to O'Flanagan, and just before he called out to O'Flanagan, he called him his brother. With the words, "You are a hard bird. You are a hard bird to find, brother." And that is where the session ended. Does anybody have questions about that? No? All right.
No questions, but I'm really excited about the tea.
Give me all the tea.
I'm really
all of
excited
the
about that.
tea.
Mhm.
Okay. So let me do something real quick. All right. You guys can all see O'Flanagan looks pretty stiff, and his muscles kind of clench. And you look down the road, and you see the other Aarakocra. He's not really bearing any weapons, but he seems to be standing over the downed body of the Dragonborn Corwin was able to defend against. He says, "You are a hard bird to find. You are a hard bird to find, brother." O'Flanagan looks back to him almost speechless, and you see he's slowly drawing his dagger. What would you guys like to do?
I'm gonna look at O'Flanagan.
Go ahead.
Like, you know this guy?
He seems to be my brother. I haven't seen him since I was a lot younger, but he has a shocking resemblance, that's for sure.
See, O'Flanagan kind of raises his beak a little bit and calls out to him, and he's like,
"How do I know you're actually my brother?"
The other Aarakocra down the road kind of just cracks his knuckles a little bit, and he says, "We can find out the old-fashioned way." And you see he brings back his arm like he's about to charge O'Flanagan. O'Flanagan kind of holds out his arms to you guys, and he says,
"I'll handle this. If something goes wrong, just keep the guards off us."
You see you see O'Flanagan does look nervous, and he does tremble somewhat as he gets ready for this fight. He charges forward, and O'Flanagan gets ready to begin combat. As he's charging forward, Demonia, are you prepared to use the character sheet I gave you?
Yes.
Okay.
Do
So,
I get
O'Flanagan
attack of
rushes
opportunity?
forward, and you see his supposed brother kind of brings up his fist and gets ready to strike. Annika, what would you like to do against O'Flanagan?
Fist of Unbroken Air.
Okay.
So he needs to make a savings throw of 11.
On what?
Let me see.
Annika, you're not supposed to win.
No, she's supposed to use it to the best of her ability.
It feels horrible. Once I saw the character sheet, I was like, man. Strength savings throw.
Okay.
Sorry. STR was really fucking
Yeah.
with me for some reason.
That's so weird. It's a 20 on my screen, but it says 2 + 2, so it's a 4.
Yeah, mine says 2 + 2 as
Yeah.
well.
It was straight up a 20 on my screen though, but it didn't do the chime or anything. So yeah, you got a 4 for a savings
Damn.
throw.
All right, he lost. It's 3d10 bludgeoning damage. I can't do the damage on my side.
Okay.
You'll have to do it. It's a read-only character sheet.
So you guys watch as O'Flanagan's brother just takes his fist and he clobbers him straight into O'Flanagan's chest, sending O'Flanagan flying backwards and crashing onto the ground for 13 damage. O'Flanagan immediately jumps up, and you see he pulls out a special dagger from his back, and you can see it resembles the same daggers you guys all got from Zekrom, the ceremonial Aarakocra daggers, and he goes to strike forward towards him. With a 26.
Yeah, he hit.
He does 8 damage to his brother as the dagger slashes across his brother's chest, and you see it kind of tears through his armor a little bit. Annika, it's your move.
I'm going to use... I'm just gonna, out of anger, slash at him with my talons.
Okay.
That is... It's just a 1d4 + 4 on damage, on hit.
Alright. Give me a hit.
To start, like, just slashing at him. I can't roll it.
Oh,
Let me
right,
see.
sorry.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
No, you're good.
She
You're
said
good.
I can.
I was like, but I would like to.
I should have made it not. I didn't mean to do that.
I didn't know if you meant to do it. I just realized that as we started. I was
Too
like,
late,
I
we're
can't
already
roll
in the shit.
anything.
Yeah, we're already in the
I
shit.
know.
You got a 25
happening.
hit.
Oh my
You did
god.
5 damage.
5 damage. Yeah, just like trying to claw him down on the ground. Just
Yeah,
fucking
you
him
see O'Flanagan slashes his brother, and then he immediately takes out his talons and starts slashing back at O'Flanagan, almost like a cat fight at this point. You see some guards around you guys, Demonia, Corwin, and Orbweeb. Some guards are turning and they're looking, and you hear one mutter to himself. Give me a perception check.
up. Okay.
You got that from all 3 of us?
Yep, all
Yep.
3 of you.
16.
I don't know how much I'm perceiving.
18.
10.
Okay. Orbweeb and Corwin, you both hear one of the guards speak to himself. He's like, "Is that the captain?" And as O'Flanagan and his brother are fighting against each other, Flanagan is going to bring up his dagger again. You see, he kind of flips the dagger into his hand, catches it, and goes to stab him towards the chest. With a 10, you see that he takes the dagger to stab him in the chest, but he
Does
kind of
not
trembles at the last second and just barely misses him. Go ahead and respond.
I'm gonna go ahead and use hold person on him. It's a wisdom savings throw of 11.
Okay. That's 3 key points, right?
Yeah.
Make sure to mark those off. He got a 13 though and passed. So
I don't know why I'm upset about that.
you see his brother holds out his hands, and this like white shimmer comes off his palms. And O'Flanagan almost like stutters for a second, but continues to follow through and strikes him again with his dagger. The 24.
Damn.
It fucks me up.
It's 9 damage.
Damn.
Damn, give me 2 seconds. Oh my god. 9 damage. I can't do any. Hold on. I'm trying to
I'm doing it
count my
for you.
key points this way. Awesome. So I'm at
I'll mark out
4
the
key
key points,
points. Thank you. I can't do that either.
Oh,
That
no.
Okay.
should just be 3.
O'Flanagan, you see O'Flanagan kind of like swings back his arms and gets ready for you to strike him again. And he quickly dashes backwards, 25 feet away from his brother. Almost like wind kind of gushes towards O'Reilly as he dashes backwards. What would you like to do?
Man. My key points are running out.
Corwin, Demonia, and Orbweeb, you do see some guards are starting to slowly walk towards this fight alongside civilians as well, as people are starting to get kind of curious while there's 2 Aarakocra fighting each other in the middle of the street.
Have I
Fair
used
enough.
3 key points?
You used 4.
Damn. Well, I'm about to finish them up. I'm going to use Fist of Unbroken Air and then use Fangs of the Fire Snake for the additional key point to increase my reach. And then if that hits, it's fire damage instead of bludgeoning, so it's an extra 1d10 on top of the 3d10, if I'm reading that right. Yeah.
Okay. So wait, say it again. What's the bonus?
The bonus is an extra 1d10 fire damage.
Okay.
On top of the 3d10 bludgeoning. And
that's-
it's a wisdom saving throw of 11.
That's the Fist of Broken Air, Wisdom saving
With Fangs
throw.
of the Fire Snake.
You got a 13. So
Oh.
was it half? Yeah, it takes half as much damage. Okay.
Yep.
So it's 17 plus the 1d10.
Yep.
So he takes 10 damage.
I wanted to, like, when I punch, to just, like, shoot out my claws, like, really
Yeah.
dramatically. It's from a way distance, so it's like a
Yeah.
fire punch.
So as you guys watch as a Flanagan dashes backwards and the wind seems to be almost in his sails, metaphorically, as he flies backward almost. And as these other guards are starting to get curious and walk up, you watch as O'Reilly sticks his talons out really quickly, and these orange, they almost enlarge in ghost-like, and they become orange and fiery and shoot out towards O'Flanagan across the way and stab into his chest. And see O'Flanagan lets out a holler as he swings his arms back and he gets ready to charge his brother again. You guys all see these guards are getting closer and closer, and they're about to walk past all three of you towards the fight that's happening. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna go up to them and just say, please don't. And
Do that.
You
say,
see-
hey, do you know who that is? Like, or I'm just gonna try to like stop them or distract them in some way.
Okay. Yeah, you see there's three guards. They are head to toe in, chainmail armor. And
Yeah.
with the one you pull aside, you say, hey, stop, and looks down to you, and he says, do you know what is happening here?
No, I was actually gonna ask you if you knew. That's our friend, and this guy came up claiming that it's his brother, but he doesn't
Interesting.
seem so sure. And now he kind of just started trying to fight him. So now we're a little confused. Do you know who that is?
You see, all three of them kind of look over to the Aarakocra fighting, and one calls out and he says, Captain O'Reilly, are you okay?
Captain.
And the brown
Captain of what?
Aarakocra, just say the brown Aarakocra, as he pulls his talons back and the fiery flames kind of wisp away into his hand, he calls back out and says, I'm just fine, lads. And O'Flanagan kind of gets angry and gets ready to charge him again. Worrybly, what'd you say?
I said, Captain. Captain of what?
He's the captain of our
Captain
squad.
what? Oh. Who do you work for?
Or with the Royal Army.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Please don't fight him. I think he's innocent. Our friend didn't do anything. I'm not sure why they're fighting, but I could imagine Captain O'Reilly will take care of it if necessary.
Oh, well, we'll see about that. You see, they've become highly interested in the fight, and they almost start snickering to each other. And you see two of the guards actually exchange coin between each other like they're making bets.
Fair enough. At least they're not trying to fight. I'm gonna walk back
Do I
over
see
to
that?
my friends.
Does
What's
Des
that?
Moines see that?
Give me a perception check.
Okay. That pisses Des Moines off. Des Moines doesn't see that.
No,
I got
you
a
see
12.
it. You see two
Oh, okay.
guards pass coin between each other, and they snicker and laugh a little bit.
I'm gonna run up to them and be like, you think this is funny?
They look
Our
down
friend
at you
is being
almost.
attacked.
You being taller than them, they still seem to look down upon you, unjustifiably. And they say, oh, our captain's pretty strong. We're not really worried.
Say, well, my
I'm gonna-
Birdman's pretty strong too, motherfucker. And then I'm gonna
Oh,
walk
God.
away.
He
I'm
seems
pissed.
like he's losing if you want to place bets. They kind of call out to you as you walk away.
Oh.
I'm gonna stop Des
I
Moines.
feel like
I say, no,
I'm
no.
gonna walk,
No,
start
no,
walking
no.
back up to them.
No,
Just
I've
like
got to
up
get in
hit
front
'em.
of her. I get in front of her. I can't let her do that.
All right.
Must-
O'Flanagan gets ready to dash back towards him. Okay. He rushes back towards him. Sorry, just a second. He rushes back towards him and he goes to swing his blade. With a natural 1, Flanagan seems to be stumbling upon himself as he's running towards his brother. He stumbles and he falls to his knees and slides towards him. It is your move, Annika.
I'm going to dash towards him.
Okay.
And fuck him up with my talons again. I want to just like almost hit him in the face. Across the face.
Natural 1. You also bring back your claws. Or the brother brings back his claws and goes to strike towards the Flanagan. And he stumbles for a moment, almost like he's hesitating. And you see what seems to be like he could have easily struck a Flanagan across the face. He almost purposely swipes just above him, like he didn't want to cause harm to him. Just for a moment. Flanagan responds as he drops his blade from his right hand into his left, and he goes to strike him in the pelvis with it. With a 15, he does not hit. He swings the blade and just misses his pelvis by a nail.
Oh my god. I'm going to... I want to try to like shove a Flanagan onto the ground and just hit him again with the talons.
Okay.
Slash him again, like across the chest.
All right. You go... the brother takes his talons and he goes to swipe towards the Flanagan again and seems to be almost playing with him at this point as he just swipes over his head. Flanagan, getting frustrated by this, see he drops the dagger and pulls out his long sword. With an 18. 11 damage. He takes not a long sword, rapier. Takes the rapier and he strikes him through the thigh and pulls it back out, and some blood spews from his thigh. And he kind of lets out a big holler and he goes to Annika, your move.
I'm out of K points. I'm going to disengage away from him after that dab.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to disengage. I'm just going to try to punch him. Just unarmed strike punch him. Just punch him as hard as I can in the face. That really pissed me off.
See, you guys see as the brown Aarakocra goes to strike Flanagan in the face, and he just seems to be losing his ego a little bit as he misses him entirely. This point, you can't quite understand why he's missing so much, as it almost seems to start becoming intentional.
Who's missing so much?
Riley.
O'Reilly.
Okay, that's what I thought. I got a little confused for a second.
As he misses again, Flanagan takes the rapier, and you watch as he gets up and he strikes him once in the right thigh, then pulls it out and strikes him in the left torso, dealing 13 damage.
He's gonna respond to that by slashing him. It's just like out of anger and fear, just slash him with his talons. Get him away from him.
You guys see the brown Aarakocra goes to strike him with his talons again and just wisps right across his body armor and doesn't make contact. Anything else you can do, Annika?
Not without key.
Okay. Flanagan kind of looks at him and he says,
There's no way you could be my brother. He was way stronger than this.
and he goes to strike him again.
Yeah.
Dealing 6 more damage.
Ooh.
You guys see Flanagan takes his rapier and strikes him in the foot, and it rips it out, and the blood spews from his foot as the captain is getting weaker and weaker. And the guards start to see him getting more and more worried, to see their hands start going for their swords, and they're slowly getting ready to draw them out of the sheaths.
Y'all made bets on a fair fight that would be going against the laws that are in this land about fighting and making bets back in the sheaths?
Yeah.
Give me a persuasion.
I'm gonna laugh openly at them and be like, "Your dude's losing, motherfucker."
22.
They all look at you and they kind of give like an understanding nod, and they kind of slowly slide their swords back into the sheaths.
Orweeb
Relax.
is at her most stressed right now. She's so worried about O'Flanagan and so worried about, constantly worried about these two.
All right, Annika. it's
I
your
just
move.
helped.
All right, I am going to tell him again. I'm going to continue to try to just. I want to try to knock him off his feet.
Go for it.
6 damage.
Sweep the leg.
You see, he takes his talons, and this time he strikes him right into the chest of his body armor and swipes down. And O'Flanagan lets out a large holler. He takes back his rapier, seeming just in blind anger. Okay. You see, he takes back his rapier, and he goes to strike forward towards the brown Aarakocra, screaming in rage. And just before the sword makes contact, you guys can all hear the brown Aarakocra just yell the name, O'Malley! And just as he does, you see O'Flanagan's sword stops just short of his chest, and he brings it back to his chest. And you see the battle seems to stop, and they just get locked in a private conversation.
What an interesting time for that.
You see the guards are kind of looking to each other like they're curious what just happened, as these two Aarakocra seem to have their weapons at their sides, and they just stopped dead force in the combat. What would you guys like to do?
Who's O'Malley?
I'm gonna look over at the guards, and be like, "Looks like you lost," and then I'm gonna start walking towards O'Flanagan because I want to see what happened.
All right, you start walking towards O'Flanagan, and you can hear the clanking of the chain armor also walking, as it seems like everybody's approaching this.
Yeah, I'll walk too.
All right, you guys all
Where's-
approach.
Where's Mort?
Oh,
Morth's with
shit.
you guys. He's
Oh,
right
thank
behind
God.
Corwin right now.
Okay.
All right, you guys all
Fucking
approach
forgot about the
O'Flanagan.
kid already.
Yeah, you guys all approach O'Flanagan and the brown Aarakocra as they seem to go, and they somewhat stop talking to each other, and they look to you. And the brown Aarakocra speaks. At ease, men. Go about your business. Go collect the dues. They all say, yes, Captain. And they turn around swiftly, and they just walk out of the area.
Real quick, while O'Reilly is talking, can I place my hand on O'Flanagan's back and cast Healing Word on him? Just
Yeah.
kind of silently.
Yeah, you place your hand gently on O'Flanagan's back while he's facing O'Reilly, and a blue shimmer radiates from you. Give me the rolls.
I am. 7 total.
7 total.
It's a 7. I accidentally rolled 2 d4s instead of just pressing this damn button,
All good.
so it's a +1 to that.
Okay.
yeah.
All right. You see O'Flanagan kind of turns to you guys, and O'Reilly speaks out, and he says, "I'm sorry you guys had to just put up with him and I. There's some things I need to discuss with O'Flanagan here." You see, as he says O'Flanagan, he kind of gives a cock eye to O'Flanagan, like he's questionable of the name. He looks back to all of you guys, and he says, "Let's go meet at the local tavern." And you see he starts walking towards a local tavern. O'Flanagan
gonna
does seem
yell-
to be following in suit. What do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna
Oh,
yell
I'm
towards
going
the
wherever O'Flanagan's going.
Fair. I'm gonna run up to the brown Aarakocra and be
'Kay.
like, "Hey, do you need medical attention? He stabbed you like 4 times."
See, he looks down to himself, and there is blood just kind of washed on his leg, on his torso a little bit. And he looks to O'Flanagan, looks to you, and he says, if any of you have the particular abilities, I would not decline.
Fair enough. I'll cast a Healing Word on him, but not as good as the other one.
Okay.
Or...
Healing
Yeah,
word
it was
with
not as good as the other one.
Doing a healing letter. You don't get a word.
Yeah.
There's a blue shimmer coming from your palm. What is the word you speak when you're saying this, by the way?
Heal, friend.
Heal, friend.
That's what I've decided.
With heal,
Just-
friend, you watch the shimmer kind of wash over O'Reilly for a moment, and everybody kind of starts getting ready to take seats at this local tavern. As you guys walk in, you do hear music, people chatting, some glasses hitting tables. It's relatively full, but there are some free spaces available. It almost seems like O'Reilly tried to choose a more packed tavern in this smaller village.
I'm gonna go up to the counter and get an ale.
Okay. You walk up to the counter and you see a man with a cloth inside a big glass. And he goes, nice to meet y'all. What can I get y'all?
You have
He
ale?
seems to be a burly, bigger man with a long brown beard. He's wearing a monocle. It seems like the top of his head is just shaven, and he's wearing just a white shirt and beige brown shorts.
He sounds scary.
He is a human, probably in between the ages of 30 to 40. Caucasian. What are you ordering?
All right. I just want an ale.
Ale. He looks to you and he says, "That'll be 1 silver piece."
Perfect. I'm gonna kind of turn around actually and yell back if the group can hear me. Like, anyone want an ale?
Oh, the tea, please.
Turn around, like, you got tea?
Let me go take a look in the back. I'll see what we got. You see, he starts shuffling some stuff around and gets ready to go for the back, and a Flanagan yells out.
I'll take 2 ales.
The man kind of gives a slight nod. Or are we ordering anything?
Water.
Water. Okay.
Water.
Moments
Water,
pass.
please.
You guys all
Or
find
I'm
a table.
exhausted now.
You're sitting at the table together. You see O'Flanagan, O'Reilly both have ales. Demonia has her ale. You have your water, and surprisingly enough, Corwin has his tea. It's in a thinner glass. Seems to be like the glass is a little bit dusty, like it wasn't cleaned too well. But it is tea from what you can taste. It's not the finest tea you've had. It seems like the tea itself wasn't brewed very well as you keep trying to stir it yourself.
Little
trying to bring
leaves
back
and shit in
yeah,
it.
trying to bring back the flavor a little bit. But it does the job. All of you
Just
are
tastes
down.
like dirty water.
All of you are down
We just-
1 silver piece, with the exception of Orweeb.
Hell yeah. Water's free, bitches.
It should be.
She says that. I'm kidding. She doesn't say that.
I say that.
Yeah, Demonia would say that.
Okay.
So I'm gonna. Oh.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh. As I sit down, I want to look at him and be like, so, hell of a day. What was that? Who are you? Why are you hurting my friend?
You see O'Reilly looks up to you with his yellow-eyed, black-pupiled eyeballs. And he looks at you and he says, "It's just... the Aarakocra are very feisty. We always have been, and we like to throw hands with other Aarakocra to make sure they are a part of our clan." You see O'Flanagan kind of just shakes his head and looks down at his ale and takes a sip out of it. Brother here, he never really got into the whole fighting aspect of our culture, per se.
He loves to fight. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
He likes
This boy.
to wield knives and blades. It's not really the Aarakocra way. He kind of leans back a little cocky-like, but seemingly he is confident in what he's talking about.
Do
Well,
you
it
use
seems like you're.
bows?
No bows,
say
no
paws?
weapons. Typically, we wear just tunics, leather armor, nothing more. We like to fight. He brings up his hands. We like to fight with our fists. Bears out his talons. And our talons.
That's really up close and personal, though.
It's the Aarakocra way. Brother here, he wasn't really made up to snuff.
I'm gonna pull out my dagger and set it on the table and be like, well, it seems like you're limiting yourself. Very threateningly. As threateningly as that can come across.
Okay, give me an intimidation check.
Alright. I don't like this guy. I got a 9.
You see, you slam your dagger on the table, but as you go to like stab it into the table, the tip edge kind of bends a little bit and it just clamps over, and you just kind of drop it somewhat. And
Yeah, that's more where that came from.
He kind of snickers a little bit.
I'm gonna chuck it a little bit like, you get the fucking point. That just...
Flanagan takes a sip from his ale, and O'Reilly continues. You see here, he puts his hand on O'Flanagan's shoulder. When brother was just a wee baby, his first rite of passage was to fare off against another child in a good old-fashioned fisticuff match. And brother here pulled out a dagger. So, let's say that fight didn't end too well, did it? O'Flanagan. He kind of snickers when he's saying O'Flanagan's name. O'Flanagan kind of shakes his head, and he says,
I only cut him a little bit. It was an accident. I wasn't fully prepped for the rules.
He's lying. He didn't like training with his fists. He hated it, right? We'd always find him out in the wilderness trying to hunt squirrel and other animals for game, for food. We'd find him throwing daggers at trees. Where did he get these daggers? We wouldn't even be able to know. He just kept finding them. Sometimes he'd craft them himself. Believe it or not, he'd find logs, and he'd sharpen them into little pointy blades. And he would hunt with those. He would fight with those. Two different occasions, he pulled out a dagger in a fisticuff match. Dad whooped his freaking ass. I'll tell you what. O'Flanagan kind of keeps just shaking his head, seeming like he's not making eye contact with any of you, and he's just staring down at his ale. It might dawn on you for the first time ever that O'Flanagan has barely talked about his childhood with you guys. He talked about how he escaped and what happened at the Waterfall Citadel, but as far as his early life, he has barely mentioned anything.
Well, there's no fair fights in this world. I think he's just smart.
As you say that, you kind of see the dragging of a chair, and the chair seems to be almost moving by itself as it goes up towards the table, and you kind of hear, ha! Mort jumps up on top of the table and slams his arms on the actual tavern table. And he goes, so, O'Flanagan was a killer? He killed people?
We've all killed people, Mort.
Oh
He's
my
But
god.
he did it for fun, right?
Oh my god.
He didn't kill anyone, at least in our clan. But I can't say he didn't try. Okay, so you're gonna teach me how to kill people, right, O'Flanagan? As he says O'Flanagan, O'Reilly snickers a little bit, and O'Flanagan responds,
I'm not going to teach you how to kill people. I will teach you how to wield a dagger.
yeah, you should teach him how to fight like your clansman. O'Flanagan kind of just gives a scowl towards O'Reilly, and O'Reilly just puts his hands up and grabs his ale again and sips from it.
Oh,
Is there anything you guys would like to say or do?
I'm gonna look at O'Reilly. Like, so what's with the name thing?
What do you mean?
You've
Oh,
snickered
you mean O'Flanagan?
every time.
You mean O'Flanagan, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, O'Flanagan. What do you think? What's the deal with the name thing? And O'Flanagan shakes his head. He doesn't seem to be very talkative right now. You see, the O in our names is something ceremonious, right? It's earned. You fight for years. You train in the culture for years. I didn't get the O for my name until I was a man. The fact that O'Flanagan here abandoned us, kind of gives a cockeye to O'Flanagan, and then still has the feathery balls to call himself O'Flanagan. And he's just O'Flinny Boy. That should be his real name. O'Flinny Boy. No. His name is Flanagan. Not O'Flanagan. Not O'Flinny. No O. You see, he gets a little bit stern, a little bit angry. Just Flanagan.
I'm sure he's earned his own title.
You see, that's the thing. You can't just, in our culture, there's a rite of passage that needs to be assessed here. It's a passage of self-sacrifice. It's a passage of strength and wisdom and courage, which he fails in all aspects here. He's not wise. He's not courageous. He didn't pass any sort of rite of passage. When our village was attacked, you see O'Flanagan kind of like takes Riley's hand and slams it on the table. He goes,
That's enough. That's enough.
O'Reilly kind of just takes his hand away from O'Flynnigan and takes its ale back in hand. He says, well, when he wants to talk about it, I'll let him tell that story. Takes a big swig from his ale, slams it back on the ground. He says, I'll take another one! And you hear the tavern keeper far away goes, you got it! As he keeps continuing to clean ales and he starts
Very
pouring one.
realistic.
What would you guys like to do?
I'm gonna look up to O'Reilly and just say, okay, well, enough about the family stuff. Obviously, it seems to be a sore subject. Can we help you? Is there a reason you sought O'Flynnigan out?
I've actually been trying to find O'Flynnigan for a long time. You see,
And why is that?
there was an incident at the Waterfall Citadel a few weeks back where there was a somewhat entanglement, if you will, with the Ortanga Squad. The Ortanga Squad is a part of the Royal Army. They are the protectors and lead guardsmen of the Waterfall Citadel. And there was an incident with a bunch similar to looks like each of your descriptions with the exception of that small child there. Hey! And we think that you guys were involved. You see, there was a chase throughout the Waterfall Citadel that caused a lot of damage. A wall collapsed, some shops were punctured, a house collapsed, and then there seems to be what looks like a giant just battle happened outside the western gates of the Waterfall Citadel. And ever since then, one of our generals has been missing.
Who?
He goes by the name General Commander Greed. He has been missing from our ranks for about 2 weeks now. And it seems like O'Flynnigan is a part of the group that last saw him. Now, he kind of leans forward a little bit. Looks around like he's trying to make sure nobody's listening. I came to find O'Flynnigan to figure out if he was able to kill him. You see his voice quickly kind of dampers, like he's trying to portray an image of concern and hopefulness. Were you able to kill Commander Greed?
I'm gonna look at Corwin and Orbweave. Be like,
Can I prepare an Eldritch Blast under the table? Like, just put my hand down there, just like pointed right at him, just in
Yeah.
case.
Yeah, you kind of ball your fist, and if someone were to see it, you could see little embers of light just kind of sparking between the fingers of of Corwin's hand, and
throwback.
just sparking Corwin's hand as he keeps it under the table. And there can be a slight little buzz heard if you tried to listen for it, but if you weren't paying attention for it, you wouldn't even notice.
Perfect. All right.
If your commander happened to be no longer part of this world, how would you be responding?
The longer part.
You see, he looks to O'Flynnigan, and he says, I don't know, can I trust them? And O'Flynnigan looks back to O'Reilly, and he goes,
I found it to be easy so far.
Aww.
Well,
I would say, his voice gets low, his voice gets quieter and quieter as he continues. I would be eternally grateful. The generals are not good people, and something is going on. I've
Something is
been
indeed.
working and inciting the Royal Army for a few years now. I'm in cohorts with my partner. We work with a faction. They go by the name of the Freedom Fighters, and they are trying to rebel against the rule of cause. And my faction partner, he's been inciting the Waterfall Citadel day-to-day operations for a while now. But and I've been inciting the actual army itself.
Alright, what if I happen to bring up a certain name, and Corwin will, like, lean forward. Like, what do you know about the name, Vecna?
Vecna. I don't know anything about that name.
Alright, that's fine.
I mean,
Something smells fishy.
something has been going on for a long time in the upper ranks. The commanders have been in the field for weeks now. One commander is missing. All of the squads are under the generals. We have no idea what they do in the field. It's top secret, they don't tell us. And one of our fellow clansmen is superseding the army. And he goes by the name, he kind of gets closer and closer. O'Malley. As he says that, O'Flanagan kind of clenches his fists a little bit. Speechless. O'Malley and another man. He wears just all black armor with these white lenses. We have no idea who he is. He doesn't say his name, he doesn't even talk. But he's covered head to toe in black armor. He's not any of the generals. He's above the generals. Covered head to toe in black armor. But his combat skill is something I've never even seen. Every time I've seen him fight, he's always been able to take down a man with 1 to 2 swings of his sword.
Can you give us, not to not trust you here, but we've ran into our fair share of trouble, if you will. Is there any capacity of physical proof that you can give us that you are not setting us up right now?
Nothing. I don't have any physical proof to provide you. But, simply put, we have guards throughout this entire village. If I wanted you detained, I would already have done so.
I think that's proof enough.
Are your guards the ones who are, forcing people to pay a tax, even though they've already paid recently, and you've come through twice already in this month alone, if I'm remembering this correctly?
You see, he
Is
kind
that-
of looks down to his ale as you say that, and as he finishes his sentence, you can hear a tavern keep walk up. He goes, "Oh, 1 ale!" Slams it on the table, and some of the ale spills out of the jar. And he goes, "Oh," O'Reilly says, "Oh, thank you, that'll do." He takes the ale in hand firmly as his hand is shaking somewhat, and he says, "Look, they have been sending us out to collect triple the amount of taxes that anyone is supposed to pay. All of our forces are out in the field somewhere. The king hasn't been seen in weeks. The recruitment efforts have 10 times increased. The amount of people we've taken into our forces are substantial. They're preparing for something.
Who are you fighting?
I don't know. They're preparing for something. They're gathering resources, they're gathering money, they're gathering arms. We don't know why, but something is brewing. And they keep sending squads like mine back out in the field to collect these taxes. Now, what do I want to? No, God, no. But if I don't do it, somebody way worse than me would fill my place. I tried to make sure the least of the bad happens. Unfortunately, what I can accomplish are still bad things. The lashings are a saving grace. If somebody else filled my name, let's just say it'd be a lot worse than lashings.
Well, we've ran into our own rash of strange issues. Something's going on. Something. We've made alliances recently to help protect for whatever is about to happen. There's been something chasing us.
Do you have any theories?
Well, and I'm gonna kind of look over to Corridor, we'd be like kind of a nod, like, can I keep going kind of thing.
Keep it small.
You see, Mort kind of has his arms crossed on the table, and he kind of like leans up to you guys when you talk, leans to O'Reilly when he talks, and he just seems increasingly fascinated by the conversation.
Hold on real
Poor
quick. I'm gonna
kid.
see if I can.
This is just a lifetime of trauma set up for him.
Oh yeah.
Kid's gonna need a lot of therapy, not just
Yeah,
from
he
his
is.
before
Yeah.
meeting us.
Yeah. I was trying to see if there was something I could give Mort to keep him distracted.
Get him a nail. He'll be real
That sounds like
distracted.
a Des Moines thing to do. Like, get the kid a nail. I don't know. I don't know what to do with kids.
It's like that fucking video. It's like, what do I give him, a beer or something? He's 4.
He's 4.
Oh, so no? Okay.
But I don't know what to do with him.
I don't know what to do with him.
Fucking for real. I have a little disguise kit and a little clothes and costume kit. I'm gonna assume out of that I just have some like pieces of like string and rope and stuff. I'm gonna ball all that up and give it to Mort and be like, "Can you braid all this for me?"
You see, you pass it to Mort, and he looks up to you with glowing eyes. He says, "I'll try!" And he starts just fumbling with the string and the rope. You see,
Like,
he's doing
awesome.
a very bad job as he just takes the
That's
string and
great.
starts wrapping it around the rope. Like that.
Beautiful.
That'll keep him distracted for a while. And I'm gonna turn back to O'Reilly. Like, look, I'm not going to go into crazy depths, but we have had some sort of force following us. We were in alliance with a village, and we know something's happening. I feel like there's going to be a war soon.
Well, at the capacity the Royal Army is growing and preparing and collecting resources, I would say there's definitely going to be a war soon. The perpetrator is the biggest question. I don't know. I mean, I'm high up in the ranks as a commander of my own squad. That does take a few years. But even I don't know what's going on.
I feel as though we might be on the opposite side of the war.
Maybe with the Royal Army, but as far as the freedom fighters go, no. If your goal here is to end the tyrant rule of King Kaz, then you are on my side. He kind of gives a graceful nod and sort of changes his presence from the egotistical attitude he had before to a embracing friendliness.
I'm gonna lean over to O'Flynnigan and I'm just gonna kind of whisper, "You buying any of this?"
You lean over to Flanagan and he kind of looks back towards you, and you see there's like a war-torn look in his face as he seems at this point. His mentality seems to be so in shambles that he's like afraid of what's going to happen next. As the words in his voice seem to be trembling, he says,
He fights just like my brother. He's some of the only family I have left. I'm inclined to believe him. And like he said, I mean, he could have tried to kill me, but there was a couple moments in that fight where I saw him hold back. So I buy it.
He gives you like a reassuring nod.
Okay.
I can kind of... You see, O'Malley's the biggest concern of ours here.
Is O'Malley an Arakakra? Just with the O thing, I'm honestly just curious.
O'Malley is an Aarakocra. He is on the high ranks with the black armored individual. They both help supersede and lead the entire royal army. Rumor has it they only answer directly to the king. They don't even answer to the generals. Some information I can provide you all, due to the fact that I trust my brother here. You know, differences aside, he kind of gets a cockeyed look to Flanagan. Differences aside, this is what I can tell you. First off, there's 7 commanders, 7 generals. who help oversee the army. You have Commander Lust, Commander Wrath, Commander Gluttony, Commander Pride, Commander Envy, Commander Sloth, and the missing Commander Greed. As a unit, they have been dubbed the 7 Deadly Sins for their fearsome fighting acts. We theorize that they were heroes from the Civil War who have turned to more aggressive fighting styles. It's every time they've been in a fight, they've never left their opponent standing or breathing, even.
We barely made it out.
So you fought against him.
We did.
Do you know what happened to him? Is he dead?
We don't know. We never saw his body.
What do you mean? How did you not see his body?
Big storm. Big one.
Orbe's
Arkin-
having like fucking flashbacks right now. She's triggered as hell. She's like, oh god.
I'm gonna look over at point to Orby and be like, our friend here, had a level of power that I've never seen from her before. She created a storm so large, we all almost died. We had to. We thought we'd got him, and the storm was so intense we had to leave. O'Flanagan actually saved our lives. He's the only reason we got out.
How do you save your lives? He gives almost kind of like a look like he doesn't believe what you're saying.
Look, it seems fantastical. I just remember there was lightning strikes, there was fire, it felt like there were bombs dropping on the
I'm
earth.
gonna cut Demonia off and just say, he flew and he saved me. Like, I'm gonna start yelling. She's mad.
My word.
She's mad. He done tipped her off. She's mad.
He flew
You
and
have tipped
saved
me
you?
off, sir.
He flew and he saved me. And he really hurt himself trying to. And he did do it. And we all found safety, and God, half of us were knocked out, and we got away, but he is a hero. And I'm like, point to a Flanagan, all angry, like.
As you point to a Flanagan, you can't help but notice that Flanagan is staring into his ale, unresponsive to that remark.
Oh, fine.
Oh, fine.
He's a hero?
Yeah. He
Maybe
saved
Baby
all
Brother
of us.
has decided to follow the culture a little bit more. He gives a cockeyed look back to Flanagan, sees that Flanagan has not looked back to him, then looks back to you guys.
He
He
took
is-
us to he's a feller all Lyric? Yeah, Lyric.
Lyric.
Yeah. He dons a lot of green armaments. I don't know if he's a part of the Waterfall Citadel, but I think does gardening.
That sounds like him. That sounds like my partner. He
Oh.
Yeah,
Cool
he
guy.
inside of the day-to-day operations. His name is Lyric. The person you met could have been an impersonation, though. I mean, what did he look like?
Well, that's the thing. He had a mask on. It's green, brown trim along the sides. He had a bow on his back.
That sounds like him.
All I know is he let us sleep in his house, and he fed us and sent us on our way.
He helped
He's
us.
always been a
kinder
really
to
good
us.
guy. He's always been a really good guy. He's
Kinder to us than he had to be.
he's my partner in the Freedom Fighter operations. We were both sent on the Waterfall Citadel mission to inside the operations of the day-to-day and the Royal Army.
It sounds like him. He's a really good guy, and he was very helpful.
But I hate to tell you, I don't know if he's dead. None of us know. The commotion of what happened, I can only assume it would have killed him. But I can't say.
Lyric?
No. Greed.
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 Oh. Agreed. Well, I hope he is dead. That son of a bitch deserves it. I've seen him
I mean,
choke the
he was getting
life.
pretty fucked up in the sky, so
I've seen
if
him
he did make it out of that, that's pretty damn impressive.
Well,
seeing what
yeah,
they're
you hit him.
capable of. I would gamble he survived it, no matter what you threw at him.
Yeah, or we hit him with some lightning, and then you had the fall itself.
He-
So,
We were pretty
He
high up
didn't.
there.
He didn't seem like a man when we fought him.
no, he had
Yeah.
a really deep
Des
yellow.
Moines is gonna immediately regret saying that. Passing off too much information.
Last we saw, he was struggling. He seemed to be at conflict with himself, and he left the field for a couple of days. And last we heard, he was renting out a cabin in the Waterfall Citadel, and he seemed to be in torment.
Have you heard anything about him since that commotion at the Waterfall Citadel, or just outside of it?
He's been missing ever since.
Like, he's not at that cabin?
No, we've searched the cabin itself has collapsed. We talked with the Ortega squad, and with their captain Roderick, and he threw a name towards us, which led me on this case. He threw me the name of O'Flanagan. He's not very fond of you, by the way. He looks to O'Flanagan saying that, and O'Flanagan just says,
I know.
still somewhat
Don't think
dead
fond of any
within.
of us.
He's like, yeah.
He don't really like us too much either.
Yeah, Roderick isn't the most welcoming, but he is respectable, I can say that. Anyway, that house was collapsed. We followed the path of disaster. It looked like some kind of chase occurred. We found the field where you guys seem to have fought Greed, leaving just a crater of sorts. No bodies.
I just. He
Right, those-
became. And
He what?
there was something wrong with him.
What do you mean?
He became this monster.
He's always been a monster.
No, it was
Step on Demoinia's foot.
no. I'm gonna stop talking when he does it. Be like, no, you know what? Never mind. And just start drinking my ale.
Look, the commanders, the generals, he's always been a monster. I watch him steal from the poor, murder the rich, choke the life out of the innocent. The issue was, toward the end, he stopped. He was acting sane and normal. Nice, even. Like he was
seemed
at
very...
an inner conflict within. One day he would be very aggressive, back to his usual self, and the next, we'd find him in the Waterfall Citadel having pleasant conversations, dare I say, with his civilians.
He seemed very pacified when we met him. And then he wasn't.
It's strange. We don't know much about the generals, or why they're so powerful, but he was acting strange, and I have to say, the other generals, they're starting to act strange too. I've been able to put my finger on it yet, but something's going on.
What kind of weapon did Greed wield?
He was infamous for the broadsword he wielded. Bigger than
Wait.
any one of us. If you were to stick it in the ground, it would put a crater. They say just him releasing his grip upon the sword would pierce through solid stone if he just dropped it foot high. They say when he was exhausted in a battle and he lifted it off his shoulder and allowed it to fall to his legs, crater. Almost no man could lift it. You'd have to have the strength of 30 men to lift that sword.
Yep,
Well-
that makes sense.
I don't know why that sword is the way it is, but it's almost like the sword itself has its own gravity, and it sinks if he's not the one holding it. I mean, there's
Checks out.
sometimes I would see that sword sitting on a table during meetings, and I could swear, just the sword sitting on a table, it was cracking the wood of the table, like it was sinking. Some people rumor and theorize that the sword came from hell, and it's trying to go back. That's the rumor, anyway.
Interesting.
Well,
Yeah,
I hope he's dead.
I hope so too. He's an evil man. O'Malley, though, O'Flanagan, I found out when I was in the army, or still am, but not. O'Malley led the charge on our own clansmen. He led those Dragonborn soldiers to our village to slaughter them. He's looking towards O'Flanagan, and O'Flanagan, kind of like holding his ale and like kind of like tracing his tongue on the glass, just stops, and it's like a when he stops his nail. He led them to the village. He helped them get slaughtered, and I'm guessing that's why he's so high in the ranks now, for his treason against us. And O'Flanagan is speechless. But, on that note, I feel like I've brought the mood down enough. O'Flanagan, I'm happy you're okay. And I love you, brother. Please, just be safe. Don't get yourself killed. You see O'Flanagan kind of chimes out for the first time in a minute. He says,
Come with us.
What?
"Come,
Hold on.
what are you talking about?"
The Royal Army isn't safe. Right? And as much as we disagree with one another, you are my brother. And I do want to keep you safe. And the way of the Aarakocra is not going to work forever. You see,
he's staring directly at O'Reilly. And O'Reilly kind of like gives a soft chuckle and he says, "There's too much to be done with the freedom fighters. I would if I could. But there's a lot of work that needs to be done. There's still intel I need to gather. To all of you, please, be safe. Something's happening, something is coming. We don't know what yet. But if I find you again, I'll tell you what I know."
I'm sure we'll find each other again.
Consider the rest of your night on me. You see he takes out a pouch. He kind of shakes a little bit. You hear coins ringing on the inside. Drops it on the table. "The rest of your night's on me. I've bothered you far enough. Take care."
One more thing.
Yeah.
What do you know about Eagle's Crest?
Well, I heard word that it was destroyed.
Right.
That's all I really know. But I can say this: it's not the first location that's been destroyed.
Do you know who did it?
I don't.
Right.
We have people heading there now to see what's going on, to report what they can find. But yeah, I'm just a part of the tax deductions division for now.
All right. Do you know of any other villages that have Aarakocra?
No, I mean, as far as I know, we're extinct. Me and my brother here are the last,
You've
And
never
with the
met
O'Malley.
any
exception
other?
of O'Malley. Yeah.
Okay.
Why, have you heard something?
We just wonder. It's
Give
a
me a
big world
deception
out
check.
there. Let me finish my sentence. There was more to that.
You can say
I was
more if you want.
pausing. I was gonna say. Now I've lost my role. It's a big world out there, and well, I've only met O'Flanagan up to now, and you're here, And I feel like there's got to be more than 3 of you in this entire world.
Well, I'm
I
sure
mean,
there
how is there not? I feel like you'd be better known. You're an ending of a race. No offense. I just always, I wonder. You seem to be more involved with this plane.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure there's more of us out there. But as far as who I've seen, there's my brother here, who turns out is alive. Me and O'Malley. I'm sure there's probably a couple dozen more. But I haven't seen them. I haven't heard any reports of them. But that's all I know.
Can we
That's
do a little pause real
disheartening.
fast?
Yeah.
I got a question out of all of this.
Mhm.
Did we ever tell O'Flanagan? We told O'Flanagan about that city, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Okay,
did.
perfect. Yeah, okay, it's starting to come back now because he was like got all up in Zekrom's face about it. Okay, I just had to make sure.
Okay.
That's fair.
All right. Now give me that deception check.
I was making a convincing line out of it. I got a 7.
He looks to you and he
I
says,
don't care.
"What is your name again?"
Des Moines this. I forgot my own alias.
Moines.
halfway through me saying it.
Lack of
Out of
confidence
character?
in that.
I forgot my own alias. I was like, Des Moines?
Give me a second deception check.
Yeah, that's fair. I fucking...
The
I had to look
true
at my character
questioning in
sheet.
that was so
Des
funny.
Moines?
Des Moines.
18.
Des Moines. Listen, I know you guys might not believe that I'm being truthful here, but if there is a clansman of Aarakocra, the freedom fighters need to know about it. Is there an existing village in Aarakocra left alive?
We heard rumors.
Rumors like...
Like there's a village of Aarakocra. And we haven't made our way there yet.
Who said these rumors? Where are they? Like, what?
We heard them from a tavern's keep. God, maybe 6-7 days ago. I talked to O'Flanagan about it. We've thought about going there. Just to see. I mean, it feels like a pipe dream, honestly. An entire village of them. But it's maybe worth you trying to
Seeking
find out.
Give me deception.
Why? That was so good!
The dice don't care.
Unnatural 20.
Huh. Tavern keep. Huh?
He could have just been a drunk man.
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't see Aarakocras every day.
No.
Maybe he just got excited. But I see
Okay.
you, and I see him, and you're with the freedom fighters, and if there's any way that that can help you, then we're on the same side.
I
You do
finished the braid! Mort interrupts and he has the braid like tied up with a string. He sees a little knot on it and it's just the rope with a single piece of string tied up. The string is
Awesome.
frayed. He cut it a few times. It's a lot shorter than what you had originally. And he holds it out to Des Moines and he's like, "I got it, Des Moines!" Cleverly, he seems to use your alias and not your actual name, as he was listening somewhat to the conversation and paying attention.
Smart boy.
Ah, thank you, Mort.
I'm gonna give him a little rub on the back for that one.
You give him a little rub on the back.
Well, good job, kid.
I'm gonna grab it from him and be like, "Thank you so much. Appreciate it, kid. That was really helpful." And then I'm just gonna tie it around my wrist. Put it on. Like, I need one of those.
You tie it around your wrist, and you tie it well, it stays put. And O'Reilly continues. Just stay safe out there. Something's brewing. We don't know what. And I'll be in touch. Someday. He gets up from his table, takes one last poke at the bag he left, kind of like leaving a reminder that he left some coin for you.
Thank you.
Says, "Enjoy your night." He pushes
As
in
he's
his
walking
chair.
away.
We won't let
Sorry.
this man leave.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just as he was walking away,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
gonna I was gonna kind of look back to him and just say in Arakakra, because I've never actually gotten to use the language yet, even though I know it. I'm gonna say in Arakakra, stay safe, friend. I will pray for you.
And were you able to? You can speak it, but you can't read it, or you can
I
read it,
can
but you can't speak it.
and write it and
Oh,
read
okay.
it now.
Oh,
I
okay.
can actually all of my languages. I can speak, read, and write now,
Nice.
which is actually a lot of them. So that's pretty cool.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
I have now
You
gained so many
s-
skills.
say it again.
Stay safe, my friend. I will pray for you.
You see, as he's walking, he stops dead in his tracks, looks back to you, and he gives you like a really approving nod and a smile. Looks
Hell yeah.
takes one last look to a Flanagan, mumbles to himself, and then turns around and walks out of the tavern. He
Right.
was interesting. The more kind
Yeah,
of
he
chimes
was,
in.
buddy.
So we got all this gold now. Can I have my first beer? And he reaches out and starts scrambling for the
Oh,
gold
no.
bag and drags it over.
Wait, I'm gonna look at him and be like, I have an idea. I'm gonna be like, yeah, let me go get it for you. I'm gonna walk up to the tavern keep. Be like, hey, can I get a glass of water with just do you have something that's not ale that might color the water a little bit?
Tea.
We have piss.
This is for a child. I should have prefaced with that.
Maybe honey?
Maybe. Could you do, I'll pay you a little extra for it. Glass of water, a little bit of honey, and just a splash of ale. Just enough to maybe help color the water. I'm trying to make a kid's day.
Where's the kid? He starts looking around like he's trying to figure out who you're talking about.
I'm gonna point to Mort at the table.
Say that squirmy
sitting on the
little
table.
fucker over there.
That's that the only child, hopefully, in this tavern.
So we're responsible parents.
Yeah, we
We
are.
take them
Yeah.
into the bar.
He looks
watch
over
them.
and he sees Mort, who is luckily wearing his hooded cloak covering most of his body.
That's great.
And he goes, I can't even tell what he looks like. How do I know that's not a halfling?
Dude, why would I lie about having a kid? Do you think I'd give an adult a cup of honey and a splash
I
of
don't
ale? I
know.
think he'd
I'm just
punch me in
kidding.
the head.
Okay.
That's like a horrible prank.
All
I
right.
would fucking want.
All
I
right.
appreciate it. Thank you.
It'll be
How much
5
do I owe
gold
you?
pieces.
Fuck, dude. 3?
Fuck, dude.
All right, 3. He takes
Hey, thank you
takes
so
3
much
gold
for all
pieces
your
from you.
kindness.
Are you gonna hold out your hand with the gold pieces to him?
Yeah.
You hold out your hand.
No.
He grabs you by the wrist, pulls you in. Says, I would have done it for 2. And then let's go and takes the gold pieces and walks,
I'm gonna
to the
like
counter.
flick him in the chest as I walk off. Just like not like aggressively, just like
Yeah, you flick him in the chest, and he gives a chuckle, like it's this average tavern keep play with his customer
Oh, he gets
clientele.
some tip.
And he brews it up, makes it, gives it to you. You see, there's like it's like hardly mixed, but you can tell he put some honey in it. There's a little bit of ale in it, and it seems like it's kind of slowly beginning to stir. But it's like
I'll
he
take
dumped
my-
it and didn't stir at all.
I'm like, for 3 gold, I'm just be pissed about that. I'm gonna take my dagger and kind of whisk it up a little bit, stir it.
As you're like
Bring it back
walking
to-
away, and you say, "As for 3 gold," he has like a empty glass in his hand with a rag, and he gives a cockeyed smile and goes, and starts cleaning out a glass as you're walking
Ew.
away.
Fucking
Alright, I'll stir
barkeep.
it up a little bit. I'll bring it over to Mort and slam it on the table in ridiculous fashion and be like, all right, kid.
You slam
first-
the ale on the table, and he has glowing eyes. He goes, "Is that ale?"
That's for you. Drink
He's-
up, kid.
He reaches his hands out to it and pulls it in, and he takes the whole thing, and he opens out his maw and takes the glass and just starts dunking it down. Gulp, 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 gulp. Slams it back down on the table, and he goes, "Am I drunk now? When does it start?"
Give it a minute.
He sits there like he's actually giving it a minute, waiting for it to begin.
Perfect.
He's actually giving it. I'm gonna grab his cloak and like retuck it over his head. Like, you're a
You
man
grab
now.
his cloak and you tuck it back over his head to help hide his identity. And he starts waiting. He starts wobbling back and forth like he's pretending to be drunk. And he goes, "Oh, I'm feeling it now, Demoithus." And he starts just leaning back around. Eventually, he seems to playfully pretend like he's trying to impress you guys. He's like, but I can handle it. And he falls out of his chair onto the floor.
I'm gonna look at
Thump.
everybody. I'm gonna look at the rest of the group and be like, "It's water and honey," and just smile.
Okay. Alright.
Perfect.
Okay. You guys continue to have some drinks and go about your night. And as it does begin night, you guys, I assume, want to take a tavern or take an inn and fall asleep.
Definitely.
All right. You guys rest up, and it becomes morning slowly. And with that, we will take a break.
All right.
Long
20
rest.
minutes, and we'll be back in 20.
Sounds good.
spooky, ominous music vibes. What does that mean? Ooh.
Are we doing ponytails? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
All right. I have so many fucking hair ties on my desk.
Bro, you should get this. Like the shaven sides.
What?
You should get this the shaven sides.
Could do that.
It would look good.
Yeah, I'm thinking about. So my hair right now is past my shoulder. Dude, my bangs are like down to my fucking chest now.
Wow. Yeah, your hair's longer than mine. I just had it cut because it was I got some headshots done for acting and it was like down to right here. And I was like, man, that's like starting to look a little like, I don't know, unkept, I guess, for the job I'm in.
Yeah, I'm brushing mine 3 times a day now.
I don't even brush mine, dude.
Oh, dude, I brush mine just because I don't like tangles and shit. Just because when I am working, I'm outside so much, and the wind, it just like grabs it.
Yeah. See, no, I wear a hard hat all day, so I don't have to really worry about.
Yeah, I have my hair out like in the elements and shit.
No, fuck that, dude. Fuck that.
It's Omniand. She's
Yeah, dude. Ominous music. Ominous music. That means something, right?
It does. Look, it's
someone's
ominous
dead.
Too.
Someone's dead.
Is someone dead?
Someone's dead. Someone actually is dead.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Someone's dead. Someone is actually. You said I'm not fucking around at this point. Someone is dead. Someone is passed away.
It me.
I'm fucking around. Someone's actually dead.
I failed my check, so only got an 8, so I died.
All right.
Almond, I heard you got kicked earlier. That sucks.
Yeah, dude.
How do you feel about that, Almond?
Get good.
You're still muted, Tanya.
She does. She's letting Almond speak for herself here.
Oh, gotcha.
Swipe.
Okay.
It's like a puppet.
Just her face, dude.
You know, she's just like.
Fuck, I remember when you guys got that cat.
Oh my god. Something about how you like centered her face and she looked at the camera. She was like.
You look dumbfounded. Every time I see her in the house, it's like I've found her by accident. I'll walk by her bringing laundry downstairs.
No, she found you by accident.
Yeah, and she sprints away like I have a dagger to her throat. It's nuts. And I've lived with her for 2 years.
Yeah.
Any noodles.
Okay. So, let's jump right back into this. The sun has risen. You're all sleeping family in a larger tavern, or larger inn room. Each of you are down 1 silver piece. Mark that on your sheets when you have a chance, please.
I'm busy.
You hear what sounds like some commotion and chattering outside of the inn you're staying in. As you all begin to awake as the sun has risen. Demonia, beside your bed, you feel something poking at you. Wake up!
I'm gonna.
Get out of bed!
I'm gonna involuntarily like hit that kid in the face.
Yeah,
just
you
like
swing
just
around and
like
you smack him Mort in the face and he falls to the ground. He goes, ah!
I'm like,
so it's a fight then, huh? And he gets onto your bed and he starts just slinging and slugging at you.
My god.
He's not
I'm
really
grab
inflicting pain, but he is like punching you in the chest.
I'm gonna grab both of his little hands and be like, oh my god. How long have you been here?
He looks at his hand like he's like looking at a watch, but he's not wearing one.
But he's not wearing one.
2.5 hours?
Here? In here.
Like, standing right here? Yeah.
Oh. You
he gives
can't
an
do
innocent
that.
Smile.
I'll hit you again, kid. I'm not gonna mean to, but I'm gonna hurt you.
Well, I was hearing some commotion outside, but I didn't want to wake you guys.
Is there a window in my room?
There is a window outside, yeah.
I'm gonna get up and look out the window.
You get up reluctantly, I assume, and you go towards the window and you look outside. And the inn is across the street from where you guys met Rios on that bench near the meat keeper's restaurant, or his what do they call it?
Butcher?
The
Butcher,
before
thank you.
restaurant.
The butcher's store, and you see where the butcher's store is now a giant hole in the wall. Like the whole wall collapsed, and there's just a bunch of debris and rubble all over the street. There's a couple of guards standing there, a couple of civilians standing there. People are chattering to each other. And give me a perception check while you're looking at it, actually.
Okay. $16.
Yeah, you look over, and when you keep looking for a moment, and you see Mort's like right next to you, kind of on his tippy toes, looking out the window, trying to see as well. And you see what looks like blood splatter on one of the walls inside the butcher's shop. Does not look like it was blood from him butchering an animal. It looks like it was blood that was spewed.
I'm gonna just take a deep sigh. Be like, come on, kid, we gotta get the rest of them. I kind of sluggishly make my way out. Do I know where everybody else is in the tavern? Like, do I know where their rooms are?
You're all in the same same room.
Oh, we're all in the same
Yeah,
room?
it's one of those bigger, like, party
Okay.
inn rooms where you have, like, 6 beds.
We got the
Yeah.
sweet. Alright. I'm gonna go around and just gently nudge everybody.
Okay. You all
Like,
get
"Good
nudged, and
morning."
everybody starts waking up, and you kind of all gather around each other. And Moore just
Like
kind
the-
of speaks out. And he's like, "There's a commotion outside!"
Like, he
Okay.
woke me up in a much less gentle way, so I'm gonna hope you thank me for that.
As
Take a look
Demonia
out the
says that,
window.
Mort's kind of like punching the side of her leg with both hands. Just
Oh my god, I hate kids. I'm just gonna motion for everybody to look out the window.
I will make my way over to the window.
Like, can you
Flanagan
reach?
reluctantly makes his way over to the window and looks outside.
Oh,
So
awesome.
I don't know when that happened.
There's a straight. Oh, you mean the big hole?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would definitely mean that.
Everybody
Probably
give me
100% of
perception
the time.
checks on what you're seeing when you're looking at it.
Oh, I already
Except
did
for
that.
except for you.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that.
Got me a 20.
Oh, Flanagan does not
20.
see it.
Uh,
Carwin, you see it. What'd you get? Or we?
9.
9. So Corwin, you see it. You do see inside the shop, after all the rubble and the collapsed wall, there is a spray of blood on the wall.
Ooh, there's some blood in there. Look like a bit of a splatter happened.
Doesn't look like
Well, it is
pig
a
blood.
butcher shop.
What?
I'm gonna
Corwin,
grab
from Demonia and Corwin both know from looking at it with your perception checks that the kind of blood splatter is not of a professional. It was like a slash, very unprofessional, slashed. A butcher is pretty renowned at being able to contain a blood splatter from chopping up the dead animals. This does not look like something a butcher does.
This blood pattern doesn't make sense.
Really?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
grab
Did I?
Orweeb and like lift her up a little bit in the window and point
She's like,
and be like, "Do you see? Do you think
I
that
can
was
only
him?"
see like the top half of the building, and I'm like,
Right.
something's wrong.
And you're like, missing
Demonia, you
something there."
lift up Orbweeb and you point her out towards the window, and Orbweeb, as you lift it towards the window, you do see now the blood splatter on the
Wow.
wall inside the
Be
shop.
like, "Do you think that was him?
No.
Like that might have been
But-
his."
I'm gonna like struggle my way down.
I'll
Just
set her
kicking
down.
your legs.
Okay, let go of me.
Let go You guys turn around, give me perception checks on all of you while you're continuing the conversation.
Ugh. Perceive that
19.
Mort is probably halfway across the road now, and
Mort's
Gotta
in there
get a good
licking
aim.
up the blood.
fucking for real, that's what we're perceiving.
Dude, how'd you guys know?
It's getting predictable.
That's not good.
Mort's a
Fucking kid.
predictably
I'm kidding.
large pain in our
Kids are
ass.
predictable.
Yeah. If there's a pain in the ass thing you could be doing, is probably doing it.
It's leaving us to go explore.
Yeah.
I rolled an 8. That was
Okay.
worse than my other roll, so.
Alright, so what did everybody get?
19.
I got 10.
10. What'd you get, Corwin?
19.
19. Okay, you all continue the conversation, and you don't notice.
I
You're
didn't
like, well,
notice
we-
either.
Nope.
Oh shit!
Alright.
Was that fucking 18? Did Mort notice anything? Give him a chance. He's obviously had a good eye.
did Mort.
Give him a roll.
Where's Mort?
I
Mort
did give him
can't-
a roll. He's not.
Can
He's
I-
not on the
can
actual
I make a
campaign,
pers-
so you can't see it.
Oh my god. I'm going to look at everybody and be like, hey, we should probably. I want to know what that is.
We should get
I'm
Bob
curious.
involved. Is
Finnegan's
what you're
tape.
saying?
I'm gonna look
I
over
want-
to Flanagan and be like, "What are you thinking, dude?"
Well, there's a blood splatter. Something definitely happened because there's a whole wall collapsed into the street. I do see a couple of guards, but they're not wearing the Royal Army uniforms.
You see, he's looking out the window again, like he's continuing to examine.
I would say, as far as concerns about dealing with the Royal Army, I think we're okay. So I don't see them anywhere. We should probably go see what's up.
Bob's
Fair
on the case. Corwin's gonna make his way
God.
out.
Okay,
Bob's on the
Corwin makes
case.
his way out. You guys following suit?
Yeah, because Bob's on the case.
All right.
Bob's on the case.
You guys all step outside, and across the street, you see a guard talking to another person. Give him perception.
That one's an 11.
20.
13. Hey.
All right, you guys
I
collectively see it.
perceive.
You see a hooded figure standing about 4'1", talking to a guard, has his arms crossed, and as you get closer and closer, you see a voice, or you hear a voice, and it goes, "So what do you think happened here, huh? Do you think we need to
Oh,
get
fuck.
involved?"
Can I run up behind him and grab him by the shoulders and yank him towards me?
Yeah. You run up behind Mort, and you yank him back towards you. He says, "Oh, wait a minute, this is our business!" And he's like kicking, trying to get away from you as you pull him away.
Our business.
I'm gonna stop and in the most quiet parent voice I can be like, you are hiding. You're a tiny shadow behind our shoulders. Okay?
Okay.
You're a small, silent man.
He gets kind of sad and goes, "Okay." And he kind of
Grown
like gets
men
behind
and
you and stands back and gets away from the situation.
So yeah, just kind of push him behind me. Be like,
You look
"Come
at the
on."
guard who's looking at you. He's wearing like blue leather clothing with a somewhat of a cape draped over his back. Has a little acorn on it, and he looks over to you with a chainmail cap. You see he seems to be of a half elf nature, a man probably in his late 20s. Looks over to you. He goes, "This is a crime scene. I'm gonna have to ask that you back away."
It's reasonable. Sorry, kid's not mine. Don't worry. And I'll just turn around and walk back to the group with him.
Okay. You turn around, you walk back to the group, you guys all regather to each other, and you see how Flanagan just looks down to Mort and he just goes,
What the fuck? What the fuck?
"I'm sorry."
You-
No, that was actually how the hell? How did you get out there so fast? I'm kind of impressed.
You know,
Yeah,
I've
you
always
were
been
able to
pretty
do
good
that
at
really
hiding.
easily.
I kind of just wanted to make sure you guys didn't see me leave, so I used to hide from my dad a lot and run away. So it's
that's
kind of what
too
I'm really
sad.
good at.
Leave
Oh my
that to
God.
yourself, kid.
Okay.
Shut
He looks
feelings
down.
down.
He looks down
I'm
and
not-
quiets. "I'm sorry."
Oh my god.
He's fine. Like,
What would you
well,
guys
all
like
right.
to do?
Look at him and be like, do you think we should find O'Reilly? Ask him if he knows what's going on.
Does he sell cart parts?
Hmm.
It'd be really funny if he did.
That would be really funny.
Well,
Nah,
Flanagan
he has to
approaches
be part of
the
the Royal Guard.
Flanagan approaches the
Wow.
guardsman and he says,
Hi, where is the Royal Army Guards? Did they already depart?
"Oh, yeah, they departed sometime last night."
Oh, okay.
He walks back over to you guys and kind of shakes his head.
Oh, hold on. Let me try something. Can I go back into the inn real quick and use disguise self?
Yeah, what is the
Walk
in.
parameters?
I can make myself look like any person that I've seen with the same amount of appendages, and I can match their height up to 1 foot taller, 1 foot shorter. Make myself fatter or thinner to make an exact replica of that person.
Okay. Does the spell
Wow.
require any parts or anything
Nope,
like that?
because it's
Nope.
a warlock invocation, so I
Okay.
can just do it,
Just do
and
it.
it lasts
Alright.
for
You know-
1 hour.
So who are
That'd
you
be really
trying
funny.
to become?
I'm trying to become O'Reilly.
O'Reilly.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Bold.
It'd
You.
be really funny if you just walked in and then walked back out with a mustache. I'm sorry.
It is me.
I got this,
What's
guys.
going on here?
All right. So as you walk into the inn, you do see the innkeep, and there's like a dining hall to your right, and there's some people standing around, and you're in the main lobby right now. There is about 2 people standing near you. Do you just do it?
No, I'm gonna try and go up to our room.
'Kay.
That
So
we
you
were
go-
at. I'm gonna go up there, change, make myself O'Reilly, and then come back down.
All right, you go
Yeah, we haven't checked
upstairs,
out yet.
you walk into the inn room, you close the door behind you, you begin waving your hands across your chest, and it seems like it almost just materializes over you, like you're putting on some kind of clothing, but instead, it's a shimmering effect, and you become the look of O'Reilly. Demonia, Orweeb, and O'Flanagan, and Mort. What do you guys want to do while you're waiting for Corwin to come back?
I'm gonna turn around to the group and be like, so what do you think his plan is?
I don't know.
I bet he's gonna go back into the inn room and use some kind of weird witch magic and become looking just like my brother.
I would expect that.
does he?
Oh, does he?
That seems like a stretch.
I'm sorry, we mind
I don't
readers
think
now.
he's gonna do that.
Never having seen Corwin use that kind of magic before, he just
Literally never.
He just
I know
strikes
exactly
it on
what
the
you
head.
do.
He's
like I
yeah,
said, it's getting predictable.
Oh.
Oh my god.
As just as
Well,
you guys
whatever
say
he's
that,
doing,
Corwin steps back outside and says, "It's not Corwin, it's O'Reilly." And
I'm gonna look it up
O'Flanagan-
Okay,
be
so O'Reilly walks out of the fucking indoors. Oh, hey! I thought you left.
Fancy meeting you here.
O'Reilly, welcome back. Is there some unfinished business you need to take care of, or?
We'll chat later. And he'll walk up past you guys to the guard.
Okay.
So, explain what happened in this scene that is here.
You see the guard looks over to you, and he looks you up and down, and he goes, "The Aarakocra? I thought
Yeah.
you guys departed last night. What are you still doing here?"
Are you in a position to be questioning me? I asked you a question.
Give me an intimidation check.
He said,
Can I
"I'm the
help?
one
Can
asking
Or
I help?
persuasion, your choice.
Yeah.
21.
I'm the one.
21. Demonia, what do you want to do?
Never mind, that actually worked out. Continue.
He's like, "Oh, sorry, sir. So sometime last night, between the time of morning and the time the Royal Army departed, there was a break-in into this butcher shop here. Looks like somebody quite literally bashed their way in and proceeded to slaughter the butcher keep.
That's
We
ironic.
found a couple of body parts all throughout the village. We found a forearm, a leg out in the forest lines, and we found a head severed from the neck.
So we can confirm that who this person was then.
It was the butcher keep, good sir.
It was the butcher. Okay.
Yes.
Good. Do you have people of interest?
Not yet. We just kind of began this investigation, but we would suspect it could have been someone from the Royal Army. But it'd be blasphemy to try to accuse them in a death sentence. We did have
They'll
some
stay between us.
newbies come in yesterday.
Who are they?
I saw there was another Aarakocra and a strange-looking fellow who just looked like he was ran over by a carriage 4 or 5, maybe 6 times. Then we had another.
Maybe he
I
just
think-
had a rough life. Maybe maybe you'll need to be judging people.
I guess. I mean, okay. Then there was a tiefling. They look like they got hit with a bat, like twice at least.
Does Des Moines, do you hear that?
Twice at least.
Give me perception.
Okay. I'm so sorry to be like this. It's my character.
No, I like it. You do not hear that.
Beautiful. That's good. Continue.
And then the last one was a little short, like, person. Looked like she crawled
it.
out of the forest.
It's a little short thing.
All right, so
And then there
Said
was
in a little one.
there was the cloaked fellow. Couldn't really make him out, but they dragged him away just a minute ago.
All right, well, good work. Your name, soldier.
My name
Guard.
is Godric.
No,
What?
Todrick?
Godric.
Oh.
Bold.
Godric. At this point, I do have some individuals, those nice folk standing over there. They're part of the investigation squad that I had to come back and help get to this area. So I need them to take a look at the...
But we never saw them
Okay.
arrive, and why weren't they with you yesterday?
Oh, it's because I went out to go get them. That's why you saw me leave, and that's why I'm back.
Persuasion.
He said, because I fucking said so.
Fuck.
I'm the boss.
8. I think I'm gonna need some kind of official certification from the Royal Army that you have an official investigation squad occurring on this mystery here, since it happened
Hmm.
only a few hours ago. That's
Can
fast
I-
turnaround time for you guys.
But that
But I-
you're right. That's some paperwork that I didn't get set up just because this happened, so I had to get the team assembled quickly. They were already in the area, so I don't have the documentation with me.
Roll
I sent to the
persuasion.
squad.
And
Okay.
Demonia, what do you want to say?
I'm gonna kind of run up. I'm gonna
17.
see that this conversation has just gone on for a while, so I'm just gonna kind of run up and be like, "Wait, first, am I hearing this conversation? Do I need to roll perception on that?"
Give me a perception check. It's not a super
Okay.
high DC, but you might only be hearing bits and pieces. Because you're also
Okay.
trying to not look suspicious.
Yeah,
I
that's fair.
assume.
I got a 19.
You're hearing the
I wanna make
majority of
sure.
it.
Okay, I'm just gonna catch the drift that he's kind of not believing him.
Okay.
I'm gonna run up to O'Reilly
Alright.
and be like, "Hey, what's taking so long? You brought us all the way out here. Are we gonna go in or not?"
They're
I mean,
just.
I'm a busy person.
I know. I apologize.
I mean-
Godric here is just needing documentation proving that this is from them. I told
It
him
happened
that
hours
this.
ago. Of course, we don't have the documentation yet.
I know. He's just following protocol. I understand why he's needing to go through with this.
Red tape.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody died here. I'm gonna look at Godric. Like, somebody died here. I mean, this man was ripped to pieces across the village. It's just horrible.
They just need a quick look. That's it.
Oh, okay. Fine. I can make an exception just this once, but next time we need certification. I mean, O'Reilly, aren't you like a general commander now? What are you again?
Captain.
Captain of
The tax revenue. We just came through here.
Captain of Tax Revenue. Like you're the captain
No.
of the whole. Like
No. My
Damn.
squadron is to help gather the tax revenue. There's
oh,
several
yeah.
of us set up.
What's the name of your squadron?
A lot of questions coming from you right now. I just need them to look.
I
Like
gotta
this area.
make sure I have my ducks in order because my commander in chief is gonna question me for not having a certification.
Tell you what. If you grab your commander in chief later and have him come find me, I'll be more than happy to talk to him. But this is above your rank.
He's actually standing right over here. Hey, Dixon! And see, the guard
Yes.
nearby walks over, and he goes, "Is there a problem here?"
Yeah, you
Well,
have
there
a
shouldn't be.
you have a guard here questioning my authority. That's one problem.
And who are you? He kind of like seems like slumped back, like he doesn't really care.
You not know who I am? I was just here mere yesterday.
Yeah,
Part of the-
you and the guy last week and the other guy last week. Scum like you trickle through this village every week, wanting more
Scum?
and more money.
So you're calling the Royal Army officers scum? I could have you detained for such things.
Try it. I have lived many decades, and I am so sick and tired of all of this horse shit. All
Okay.
of these royal armies, all of these commanders trickling down into my asshole, trying to puppeteer me into doing whatever agendas they have that morning.
Well, to get me out of your rectum, let me do my job here.
Your job is to bring me a certification.
Correct. Do you not want this murder to be investigated further?
We are handling the investigation.
I can see that by your overall demeanor.
Give me a intimidation check or a persuasion.
Come on.
Whichever route you want to take.
22. Yeah, I'm gonna say that with like really some gusto behind it. Like, yeah, by your intimidation, I can see that. Now let me in, do my job.
Fine. Go in. Kind of waves his hand, and some guards stand out of the way, and you guys are free to enter.
O'Reilly will wave to them to come forward.
All right. You see O'Reilly waves you guys to come forward. O'Flanagan just start walking forward, and more close by O'Flanagan also walking forward.
I'm gonna actually pull Mort towards me and just kind of let O'Flanagan know, hey, I'm just gonna stick with the kid over here.
All right, I'll let you know
He
if
doesn't
we
need
need
to do
you.
that. Sounds good. Holler.
All right, you guys stay back. O'Flanagan catches up to you guys, and you're standing inside this shop. Looking at the blood spew, go ahead and give me a investigation, one of you. $17. Okay.
17.
Demonia, you're looking at the blood splatter, and you see the blood splatter arcs across the wall, going upward. Give me a history check.
Okay.
Or a survival check, your choice.
Can I do a survival?
7. Looking at it, you're not familiar with what kind of blade could cause this, or what kind of technique would have caused this, but you are familiar with the idea of the blood splattering on the wall and arcing while it's doing so. It was some sort of upward slash that hit a blood vessel and caused it to spew on the wall. So a butcher, typically they have hatchets that go downward. So a sword rising upward is not something that would occur in a butcher's shop.
I'm gonna turn around to everybody and be like, so this is...
You
this
just want to
looks
relay that?
unfamiliar. Basically the thing you just said. I'd be like, there was,
Okay.
was an upward slash taken here into an artery. This is
Corwin,
not
you
the
can
work
give
of a
me
butcher.
you can give me a survival check, and Flanagan will also do a survival. Actually, give me an intelligence check instead.
Just straight intelligence?
Yeah. Oh, Flanagan knows.
Nope. Man, Bill on that
Do
one.
not.
Oh, Flanagan
I'm-
kind of turns to you guys and he goes, sorry, the voice.
This is not the work of a weapon. This
You see he's kind of looking at the blood splatter, amused, and he goes,
was some kind of talon or claw, and it just looks like it was a slash, and that caused maybe they went for the neck, and that caused the blood to arc up against the wall like that.
you see he's in deep thought trying to evaluate the blood that sprayed across the wall.
I'm gonna look at O'Flanagan and point at his talons and say, well, that doesn't look good for us, does it?
Yeah. No, but now I'm genuinely curious. O'Reilly wouldn't do this. Would he?
No, I would not. Nope.
Oh, yeah,
Sure wouldn't.
no, you definitely wouldn't.
Nope.
You see he's still just looking at it, somewhat still lost in thought. The
Can
guards are kind of
Demonia-
standing outside just talking to each other.
While we're in here, can I just do like a quick perception check for any coin that's in the building?
Yeah.
I'm still slimy.
Person just died hours ago. Like, well, they don't need this coin now.
Well, they're not gonna use it. I had a 13.
You, as you're looking around for coin, you don't really find coin, but you do find a piece of flesh on the ground
Oh, that's
behind the
worse.
counter.
I'm gonna kind of pick it up with my 2 fingers and hold it out to everybody.
Okay.
Like, well,
you
I
hold it
found
out.
more of him.
Everybody give me an investigation check. It's pretty high DC.
I'm assuming not me.
I
Not
got
you,
an
you're not
11.
in there.
Can I get some mort
16.
time?
More time.
we'll get
I
to
mean
you.
that.
We'll get to you.
Okay.
Let's see. So 14, 11, and 7. Okay. So none of you are really sure what this flesh is. It's definitely not skin. It seems to be. It seems to be something of the internal nature.
Hmm.
I'm gonna chuck it in my bag and be like, well, maybe I'll figure it out later.
Okay.
Ew.
So put it in
Keep
your
looking
bag.
around.
Gross.
All right. Orweeb,
Gross.
you're outside with Mort.
Yeah.
You're outside with Mort, and he's standing next to you, and he goes, "Did we get to go in there? Someone's dead, huh?" He looks up to you.
Yeah,
Fair
bud. Someone died, but I didn't want to go in there, and I thought maybe you would hang out with me, since I didn't want to go in there.
Okay. What do you
I
think
know
happened?
I don't know, but it's kind of scary, huh?
Yeah.
We just talked to him yesterday.
Yeah. I wonder. You know, last night I thought it was a nightmare, but I did hear like a big bang. Like it was like
Yeah?
a boom. But it woke me up for a second, but I kind of just went back to bed.
Yeah. Did you hear anything else?
No, not really. Maybe I
No?
might have heard a scream, but it's hard to know if that was my nightmare or if that was real life. Kind of looks like
I'm
he's
gonna
thinking
I'm gonna
internally.
sit down on the ground and kind of get comfy, and just say like, "Tell me about your nightmare, dude."
Well, my nightmare was me and my dad, and he was chasing me through this big hallway, and I was running as fast as I can, and he was reaching out to me with these giant claws, and before I woke up, he went and he slashed towards me, and then I woke up to the big bang. Then when I went back to bed, it was just kind of like nothing. But that's like every night. I always have nightmares.
Do you always have nightmares about your dad?
Yeah. You
Do
see,
you
he
know
looks
where
kind
your
of
mom is?
sad. No, Mom's been gone for a long time.
Has she?
Yeah, they told me she died giving birth to me.
Did she?
That's what they say.
Okay. It's okay. We all
I never
have
really
a
knew her.
sad backstory.
Huh?
That's okay. I just said we all have a sad backstory.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay. I never really knew my mom either.
Really?
Yeah. And I've been alive a while.
How old are
But
you?
I'm like, I actually forgot. Sorry.
No worries.
Fucking no.
I know, right? Well, and it's hard too because like if you're not like a human, then your age could be like so different. Yeah, we'll just go with like 30. I'm 30.
Oh, you're 30?
I've been yeah, I'm like older, but like my maturity level is like younger, if that makes sense, because I'm a half elf.
I thought you were way younger than 30.
Maybe I am.
No,
I
I
don't
thought
remember.
she was like in her late 20s, early 30s.
I
Okay.
can't find it on the damn thing.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm 30 actually. I was right.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
You're like
older.
you're the oldest person in this team.
Which is funny because my maturity, like my like intelligence or maturity, isn't.
Yeah. Okay, so
You're just
um,
recently not illiterate.
Yeah.
so Mort is kind of listening, and he goes, "You're 30 years old?
I am 30 years old.
What kind of adventures have you been on?"
Oh my goodness. I have been on the most beautiful adventures. I have scoured the woods. I have become one with the forest. And I have seen all that nature has to offer. And it's been beautiful.
Yeah, as you say
I
that,
swam across lakes.
As you
Yeah,
say that,
sure.
you do hear Muse coming, and Steve kind of joins up with you guys as he's been gone
Oh,
throughout
hell
the
yeah.
past day, running around.
Fair enough. You've got to explore. Oh, what's up, little guy?
He kind
I'm
of just
gonna start
sits and
petting him.
wags his tail.
I'm gonna start
There's so
penning
many
him.
NPCs, it's so hard to keep track.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I
Uh,
know.
Okay. So, do we get to join in on the investigation, or we just gotta sit here and wait forever?
Well, we're gonna wait for them to come back, because I didn't want to go inside.
And then we
I
fight
don't
the
like
guy
all
who
the
did
blood.
it?
Well, I think the first issue is we gotta figure out who did it. And that's gonna be
Yeah.
the hardest part.
That is
And we
gonna be
don't
hard.
wanna falsely accuse anybody, because that would be wrong.
Yeah, I guess.
So we gotta make sure we know exactly who it is first.
Back over to Corwin, Des Moines, and Flanagan.
Yeah, more
You s-
time.
You stash the flesh into your bag, and Corwin, you're just looking at the blood. Flanagan's looking at the blood, and Flanagan turns to O'Reilly.
Okay, so maybe we should find out what the guards know.
From what they said, they found pieces of the butcher, forearm. They found the head. It was kind of strewn throughout town. It looks like the butcher was ripped apart. The suspects they have, unfortunately, are all of us.
And we're at the crime scene.
Could have told
Yeah.
me that before I busted in here with so much gusto.
It's alright.
And then put
we have
a flesh in my bag.
a decent cover. It'll be alright.
Awesome.
Right now,
Can we
with us,
skip down?
yeah, I think we should leave.
Yeah.
All right, let's get the
Let
hell out of here before we become prime suspects.
me
gonna
try and escort you guys out of here. I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm gonna stop him before we walk out and be like, "You need to be better at this.
I've
Stop
never
stuttering.
Damn.
You're an official.
I've never done this before.
Figure it out."
As you guys are preparing to head back out towards the guards and outside of the shop, back to Orb, Weeb, and Mort, you guys are standing there with Steve, and you hear one of the guards. You overhear them speaking to each other, and one goes, "You think they, this is like the one who did it comes back to the crime scene situation, or..." And that's something you hear one of the guards say while you're hanging out with Mort.
I don't know what to do about that.
I'm gonna look at.
I'm just gonna keep a closer ear out and kind of start like eavesdropping on their conversation now. Like that piqued my interest enough that I was like, oh shit, I gotta keep a close ear.
Yeah, okay.
And just make sure like I know if they're gonna do something, and just kind of keep a close ear on their conversation and try to keep Mort's spirits up
Okay. Yeah.
All right,
and
I'm gonna
distracted.
look at Corwin before we walk out and be like, "We need to sound like we're in a serious conversation about this investigation before we leave." As we're leaving,
Okay.
we need to be actively talking about next steps as we walk out. I feel
Yeah,
like they're
mumble,
going
mumble,
to think
mumble.
it's us.
Mumble,
Yeah,
mumble, mumble.
Mumble
Yeah,
gruff.
words,
Mumble.
phrases,
okay.
words, mumble, mumble.
As we're walking
Mumble?
out,
Word, phrases.
I'm gonna I'm gonna just very boisterously as we're walking out be like, "Well, I think I've gathered what we need on top of what we have seen, what you told us from last night. I mean, this is just looking like a horrible, horrific murder. I mean, obviously somebody had some malintentions against this man." And I'm gonna walk directly up to one of the guards and be like, "Do you have any understanding of anybody who would want to hurt this man?"
No, the butcher was actually always a really nice guy. He had the best prices.
I had a small interaction with him. I came and bought some meat off of him, and he seemed like a very gentle man. It's the only interaction I've had with him, but I mean, this is brutal.
He
Somebody
nods his
really
head.
had it out for this man.
Something of this caliber, we've never seen a crime on this scale around these parts. But, we've never seen you guys here either.
This is part of a larger investigation. That's why. Report all your findings to the Waterfall Citadel.
Persuasion check.
Come on, that was good. That one was good though.
Fuck. It was a 17 and I rolled to a 7. Got 10.
No.
Who should we send the reports to in the Waterfall Citadel?
Send them to the Ortanga squad, for they oversee all things within the Waterfall Citadel. Once there, they will relay it to me. But the Ortega squad's much easier to get a hold of since they reside within the Waterfall Citadel. If you try to get a hold of anyone else, that'd be difficult. Ask for Roderick. Report everything to him.
Okay, you see, he takes out kind of like a pen and parchment. He goes, Sir Roderick? Ortega squad? Looks out to you
Yeah.
like he's looking for confirmation.
Correct. Within the
Ortega
Waterfall
squad.
Citadel.
Waterfall Citadel. Okay. We'll send it by Raven with all of our findings by tomorrow morning.
Perfect.
I prefer
Thank you.
Crow.
Crow? Okay, we'll make it Crow. Make sure it's Crow.
Sorry, they're difficult.
Eh,
Well, I like to get my job done right.
That's why
I mean,
we
this is
have you here.
horrible.
It is. All right, we're going to continue on looking for further things. We're going to try following the trail out of town here. We just have to grab some things. But thank you for your service. And your name again was Godric?
Godric.
Okay.
And my commander-in-chief is Dixon.
Okay.
Dixon.
I'll be sure
gonna-
to report Dixon to the authority, the Waterfall Citadel, and I'll sing your praises there as well.
Oh,
I'm
thank
gonna
you.
walk up and shake Godric's hand. Be like, "Thank you for your work today."
He shakes your hand back
I
vigorously
appreciate your
like he's super
understanding.
excited to meet you guys.
That's
If you
cute.
ever need people in the Royal Army, I'm always looking for work. He's still shaking his
Our-
hand vigorously.
We'll consider it. We'll consider you. Thank you for your time today.
Your job here is very admirable. For the time being, stay here, but I'll think about it.
I
Okay.
appreciate
But-
your patience with us.
All right. You guys walk back over
Sure,
to
Godric.
Orbweeb and Mort and Steve.
What's up? I didn't
We gotta
say
get the
that.
fuck out of here.
We
I didn't
need-
say
Okay,
that.
yeah, I fucking figured.
Can I run back to the inn real quick and deactivate this shit?
Yep. You go back to the inn, deactivate your disguise self, come back outside as Corwin, and you regroup with the party.
Oh, at the it's just an inn, or is it an inn and tavern?
It's just an inn.
Just an inn. Okay.
We should probably
Oh.
go to a tavern, get some food, and then
I think we
Hit the
have
road.
some on the cart still.
By the
We
way,
only
you all
stayed a
long
day.
rested, so make
Yeah.
sure you take that long rest.
I did.
I also have
Yeah.
some
I needed
rations
those
on
spell
me
slots.
personally.
Okay. Well, then I think we should just pack up and
I think the sooner we
going.
get I think the sooner we get out of here, the better.
So we're going
Thank
back
you.
on the road again? The road again?
On the road again.
On the road
Sure.
again? Sweet! You see Mort starts running down the road, going back towards the horses.
I'm
Alright.
gonna keep like a
Alright.
light jog up behind him.
Yeah,
Just to make
same.
sure.
I can't let that boy out of my sight.
All right. You guys get to the wagon. You give your ticket to the keeper. He looks to you very lazily like, and he's like, ugh. I was like, was that 1 or 2 days?
Technically, not even a day. It's like 12 hours, maybe.
12 hours? Yeah, whatever. Just take the horses. You don't need to pay.
Appreciate
Listen, You guys all load up
Thank
in
you,
the
kind
horses.
sir.
You guys strap the horses down, and you continue on your way.
Oh,
To
yay.
Baden's
On the road
Rock.
again.
On the road again.
On the road again.
I don't know any other part of that.
I didn't. As we're like heading out, Corwin will come. I didn't like that. That was stressful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I wish I could do
it
that.
seemed bad.
I'm
Yeah,
genuinely curious on what caused that, though.
Here's my
What-
theory.
What did you
Now that
guys
we're-
find out while you were in there?
Demonia found some a piece of flesh that we can't identify.
I'm gonna pull it out of
Oh.
my bag and be like, "Do you know what this is?"
Give me an
May I
invest-
find out what it is?
Give me an investigation.
Okay, Flanagan, don't tell me what to do.
Give me investigation.
Give me. That's like
Okay,
world
God, I'll do
breaking
whatever
for our
you want.
characters.
My immersion.
My immersion. No,
It's broken. End the session.
you better roll good. I want to know what the fucking flesh is.
Yeah, me too. What, survival or medicine? Can I do
Mm.
medicine?
Sure.
Oh no, someone's vomiting. No! Kai, don't go under the bed! Oh,
Dang,
please don't do
natural
that.
one.
No! No, Kai! Oh shit!
She doesn't even
Did
know.
I really roll a fucking nat 1? Are you goddamn
Yeah.
kidding me?
No.
Did I?
Rolled a
I'm
one.
just kidding.
I think he just threw up under my bed. I just rolled a nat 1 in 2 ways, guys. Kai, stop it!
That was a
If you're
meta
gonna
nat
grow up,
one.
I need you to.
I want you guys to know what it is too, but you're not rolling well enough. Sorry.
Can I look harder?
No.
All right.
You
All right,
don't
I
know.
haven't taken a look at it. Can
God damn it! It's under my bed.
He hasn't taken a look at it.
I
Okay.
take
Why
this?
would you do that?
Game
I'm
medicine.
waving the flesh wildly to everybody on the cart.
You want survival?
Medicine or intelligence check.
A flat
Please.
14.
You are able to determine it's in part of an organ.
Did I really roll a nat fucking 1? Oh my
Yeah.
god, I did.
We're
Yeah, you
past
did.
that now. You rolled it. You don't know shit. All right.
Yeah.
You don't know
We're
shit
a
about
mile past that part. We're already on the next section.
it. We left the city.
Yeah.
I died.
Yeah, you look at it and you are able to determine that it is part of an organ of a human.
Oh, this looks like a piece of internal organs of a humanoid species of some sort.
Oh, ew. I'm gonna put it back in my bag.
You can take it back now. That's gross.
Maybe in the next town we get someone to look at it and see if they know.
Do you think they believed us?
I think we got to be careful about
I
just
don't
bringing
know.
up pieces of flesh to
Well, someone we
edit people.
trust. We don't just go up to a random merchant and be like, "Hey, man,
Right.
what do you think
What's
this
this?"
is?"
Guys, I think the Royal Army and the Cult of Vecna are the same thing. Did
I agree.
anybody? I think that is our. I think we have the entire Royal Army against us, and I think they're being controlled by the Cult of Vecna.
That's super helpful because there's 5 of us. One of us is a child.
But didn't he? He said that they were trying to figure out what the hell happened to the Waterfall Citadel during our chase, and we were being chased by supposedly the Cult of Vecna. Well, if they're being controlled or they're in cahoots with them, why would they not know it was them?
Well, so he said each general is called the 7 deadly sins, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
So we had our fight against the Avatar, the greed, the general greed person. So that means there's 6 others, possibly, that they're reporting to someone. Did O'Reilly say how they report directly to the king, correct?
No, he said that
Sounds
it
like
was.
they report to somebody who then reports to the king.
Or
Yeah,
the
he said the only people
all
who
black
report-
armored person.
Yeah, the guy in all black armor and O'Malley.
And
I
if
have
he-
a feeling O'Reilly is not a high enough rank to know about the Cult of Vecna because he didn't know anything about it. But
And
he's
that-
That's a
also an
possibility.
infiltrator of the Royal Army.
The Avatar
according
of
to him.
Greed told us you have not seen
The last of them.
the Cult of Vecna. So they have got to be connected. If he's the same man that went missing, and he's taken over by the Cult of Vecna, what's not to say
That all of the rest of those commanders, commander generals or whatever.
that he knows
Right.
nothing about?
Could the black armored
Well, he knows
person
about
they're
the
reporting
generals.
to be this Vecna person?
Do you
Or
think
be the
Us is
Harbinger?
Vecna?
Oh,
Or the Black Armored
king?
Man is Vecna?
I think maybe the
The
black
black
armored.
wasn't the black armored man Greed?
No,
No.
that
Oh,
was a.
different black armored man.
So the 7 deadly sin generals they report to the black armored man
Oh.
And O'Malley.
and
And O'Malley.
and O'Malley. Because when we saw or when I saw him, he wasn't really wearing. Although that was at a party, so I wasn't really wearing armor.
The wagon
What
is
I'm
kind
saying
of
is-
just bumping some rocks on the long trail, and you hear some horses neigh here and there as you continue the conversation. Trees pass by, the sun slowly starts to fall.
I just think we have. If one came after us, he's involved with it. He's also a general. I'm afraid that we have 6 more to face against.
I think they were only after us because we had the egg.
I was gonna
But
say.
now we're in
well,
alliance with.
And now
who
that we
has-
don't have it, I don't think they're going to come after us, or at
Unless-
least be on
We
the
might-
lookout for our
if-
whereabouts.
If we did kill Greed, though, now they have every reason to come after us.
And
Well,
they
don't you
know
think
that
we
we
would've
know
run
where
into
the.
one of them by now?
But I feel
But-
like they know that we know we had the egg, and now we don't have the egg. So they know we at least know where it's at. Or I mean, I guess we don't now, but they don't know that.
That's true.
We have information.
I guess. I just feel like we would have run into one of them by now if we did kill Greed at least. Don't you think they would be on top of that? Try to get the people who did it?
Well, we're nobodies, so trying to find a few people within this entire realm to track down after a storm, like our overall tracks are pretty much covered by that storm. And Lyric, he probably went back and took care of any evidence that was left behind, giving us that time to get away. So that could be why they haven't been on us. They could be on our trail, but our trail back there was pretty slim for them to try and find anything.
They said that there was no bodies, no trace.
Yeah. Oh.
Maybe we just haven't run into them yet.
And start knocking on the wood of the cart. Like aggressively.
Like,
I don't know why I'm doing that, but I'm doing it.
So
something
we go
compels you.
Probably
those
knows.
6 after us. We have I'm personally wanted in at least 2 different counties here in this realm.
That's just a me thing.
Don't know about you all, but now we have a royal army issue going on. We
It might be a good idea to mention that I'm also wanted by. I got in a bad financial situation a while back, and I needed some money.
Dinky's ass out of here. That's
I
just a
needed,
fucking
Sure.
butthole, bro.
Sorry, I know
I needed some money, and I borrowed from a loan shark who I didn't know had ties with another faction, some kind of mob, and so they have a bounty on my head. But that was a few years ago, and last time I had to deal with a bounty man was probably about a year or 2 ago. So they might have given up on that. But I did owe them about 5,000 gold pieces, I think.
You guys get in a lot of trouble through your
Hey,
life. My
hey.
goodness.
I didn't do nothing.
I did.
Just accused of murder. Did not murder. I didn't start actually removing life until I met all of you actually. So
You know what? Same.
Are we evil?
no.
Are we the bad guys?
Are we
Are
the
we the
drama?
problem?
No,
Are we
not
the
the drama.
All right. Well, now Bob is having come to a self-realization now, so that's fun.
As the conversation fades and so does the daylight, we enter a 1.5-week time jump. During this
Ooh.
1.5-week time jump, many things have happened. Conversations, events, etc. We start first with this. It's late night. The wagon is bumping on the road. Everybody seems to be pretty sleepy. The only ones awake are Orbweeb and Mort. And Orbweeb's kind of looking up at the night sky, and Mort kind of like yawns a bit and leans up and goes, actually just yawn a little bit.
I know. I was gonna say. I think you said yawn and just started yawning.
Yeah. Mort goes, "Hey, Orbweeb,
What's up, dude?
how come you guys have all that, like," yeah, wiggles his fingers, like the thing? Like you
The
can do
what?
the thing?
Oh, are you
like the
talking
pew,
about
pew?
magic?
Yeah, is that the
You know what
name?
magic is?
No, how do you guys, can I do magic?
No,
I don't know.
I'm sure you could if you learned.
How do you do your magic?
Oh man. Well, I mean, my magic was kind of a gift given to me, and I had the spiritual guidance to teach me how to do it. I don't know how you get magic, I guess. Or how everyone else got theirs.
Who gave you the magic?
My beautiful goddess Maliki.
Who's Maliki?
She's queen of the forest.
Queen of the forest. You see, he becomes a little bit fascinated. But when you say the queen of the forest, like, where is she? Can we meet her?
I've met her. But I don't see her much anymore.
Why?
Well, she helped me when I was young. Remember when I said I didn't know my mom very well?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't really know my dad either. And I grew up in her world, in the forest. And she came to me when I was young and kind of took me in and helped me manage and figure out the ways of the forest and how to survive.
Do you think she would
And
take
magic
me
helped
in?
me. I think she would take anybody in that needed her.
I spent a lot of time in the forest growing up. It's
Yeah?
where I always went when my dad was having his fits.
That makes sense. Well, I can show you how to connect to her.
How do you do that?
We're gonna do this thing called praying. Have you ever prayed before?
No.
That's okay. What I want you to do is I want you to hold my hand, and
Okay.
you're gonna close your eyes, and I'm gonna close mine, and I want you to repeat after me, okay?
Okay. He takes your hands into his, and he closes his eyes and kind of like purrs his shoulder a little bit and sits straight.
I'm gonna say, "Oh, Maliki of the forest." Is he gonna rip?
Oh,
Is he
sorry.
gonna say it back?
Oh,
He's gotta-
Maliki of the forest!
I'm gonna nudge him a little bit.
Oh, Maliki of the forest!
Okay. Come to me with your open arms.
Come
I
to
want to
me
get to
with your
know you.
open arms. I want to get to know you.
Show me the ways of the forest.
Show me the ways of the forest.
Show me the peace that it can bring me.
Show me the peace that it can bring me.
Maliki, I reach out to you now
Maliki, I reach out to you now
to welcome me into your arms
to welcome me into your arms
into the arms of nature.
and into arms of nature.
And I'm gonna open my eyes and instruct him to open his
Okay, he opens his eyes.
and say, "All right, you may not feel anything now, but I think now would be a good time to go to sleep and let me know if anything changes, okay?"
Okay. You, as you let go of Mort's hands, and you look at his eyes, and his night blue pupils shimmer with a shining green just for a moment before fading away again. You see, he kind of like leans back against the wagon, and kind of like tucks himself in sense, and drifts back to slumber.
I'm gonna pray on my own to Maliki, and just to make it quick, I'll just say, pretty much just asking her to help guide this child and help him learn more spiritually about kind of the world around him and open him up to that life.
Are you closing your eyes?
Yeah, I'm gonna close
Okay.
my eyes and pray to her myself.
As you close
And
your
then I'm
eyes and you
probably gonna
begin
fall
your
asleep.
prayer, you do feel like a nuzzle against your leg.
Oh god, I'm gonna open my eyes and I'm
As
so
you
scared.
look down, you see Mort
Scared.
readjusted himself, and now his head is laying on your lap, and he speaks out and he says, "Can you tell me more about Maliki?" As his eyes are closed, like he wants a bedtime story.
Oh my goodness, of course I can tell you more about Maliki. She used to live in another world, among other gods, and she rode a unicorn. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's like one of these horses out here, but they're also full of magic, just like we
Ooh.
are. And they have a beautiful horn that sticks out of their head, but they look just like a horse.
That's so cool.
And she lived in in a place called Faerun, where she took care of the forest. And she allowed things to grow, and all the flowers and the grass and the dirt and the trees, you see all of that, and she's created it. And she has helped to nourish it in so many different worlds. And she has helped so many find their spirituality through nature.
Wow.
She's a beautiful, beautiful goddess. And she has helped me a lot through my life. And she's taught me how to survive in the forest with nature, become one with it. And that's how I got my magic.
Where's the place she was from? What'd you say it was called again?
She was from a place called Faerun.
Where is
and
that?
it was on another world. I don't know exactly where it was, but it's not here, and that's okay, because she can go between the worlds,
Oh.
and she can help anyone who needs it, any living creature, even the living plants that you see. She helps them all. Is he asleep?
You see there, he's starting to breathe a little bit harder, but you kind of get a feeling like he's still awake.
Okay. Her home was destroyed when she was there a long time ago, in a battle amongst other gods. But she's made it her goal to make her home in other places and to create homes for other life, like all the animals, the deer, the bugs. I love the bugs. And she has decided to continue to help other civilizations grow and thrive in the world. And her origin is a little bit of a mystery, and I'm even still continuing to learn about it on my own. She never told me much about herself when I was with her, and I wish I had asked her more. But now I'm taking it upon myself to learn about that. And yeah.
As you're saying this, you kind
Are
of
you
like
still there, kid?
you could glance upon the night sky and like see a couple of shooting stars and like stars shimmer, almost like it's brightening itself for you as you speak upon Maliki. And with that, you do hear what sounds like light snoring as Moore has fallen asleep.
I'm gonna start like just kind of resting my hand on him and try to give him, I guess, kind of use my magic. I don't have a specific spell, but if I could try to give him some sort of warmth with that touch, I guess, and give him some sort of, I don't know, connection to spirituality, to Maliki.
Okay.
I guess I don't know how to do that, but I guess it'd be more of a feeling than a
You
spell.
close your eyes and you just like slowly like try to push a good energy towards Mort and hoping that he can feel it too. As the night sky fades and you slowly close your eyes and you also fall asleep. A couple of days later, as the journey continues, Corwin, everybody has taken a break on this trip and you've pulled aside the wagon. Right now, everyone's sitting around a fire. They're kind of cooking fish and just trying to get some food and eat and rest up. And the horses as well. Although you have not given yourself any rest as you've begun a journey of trying to destroy your body and rebuild it again. As you've been working out excessively, trying to train your body for what's to come. Currently, you're nearby a rock ledge where there is a gap between this rock and another rock. It's about 20 feet up, and the drop's about 20 feet between the rock you're on and the rock ahead of you. You're trying to challenge yourself to being able to leap far enough to be able to land on the other rock across the way. As you back up, you can give me any check you'd like to make it between athletics or acrobatics.
Yeah.
In the meantime, you've kind of set up a course for yourself, and this is the beginning of the course for your strength training. And you're about to begin.
Yep. Got an 11.
Okay. You run, and as you're running across this rock, you leap, and the rock cracks beneath your foot. But you leap, and you just make it to the other side on your tippy toes. And you just cross it. And you start running down the other side of the rock towards a nearby tree, and there's a branch coming towards your face. Mentally, you know you're prepared for this, as this is a part of your course. This branch requires you to grab onto the branch with your hands, and then lift yourself up and swing over a boulder on the ground and land on the other side. Give me a athletics check.
Fuck. 3.
You go to grab the branch, and as you pull yourself, the branch just snaps, and you fall on the ground, you roll over, and smack into the boulder. Is there anything you'd like to say?
I feel good.
I kind of push up and keep going.
You push up and keep going, and you run over to this little bucket. There's this big log in it, and you have some mud and water in there, and your plan is to chur it and get it to stir together more. So you grab onto the log, and you start churning it as hard as you can. Give me a athletics check.
19.
19. You stir it really well, and it becomes very muddy water. Now you challenge yourself to lift it and cross a nearby riverbank while lifting it. The river, you already know, is only about 2 feet deep. So you lift up this water bucket. Give me an athletics check. 13. You lift the bucket, and as you bounce the water in the bucket, you cross the stream. Give me a athletics check to keep your ground.
Ooh, 5.
5. The water kind of pushes against your legs too far, and you stumble, and you trip into the water and splash. And the water kind of flows over, and you get up for a moment. And you're just happy you're not dealing with fire at the moment for once. You get over across the water, and you get to the finish line, which is a pull-up bar that you kind of crafted yourself. It's 2 big logs that hold up a big branch of a tree. And you have challenged yourself to do as many pull-ups as you can. Give me an athletics check.
15.
15. You get about 15 pull-ups in before your arms give out and you fall back down to the ground. You're satisfied with the progress you make, and you have gotten stronger over the week-and-a-half trip. During this week-and-a-half trip, you did many courses like this to try to increase your bodily strength, so you can prepare for what's to come. Let's see, just a second. Over the course of the week-and-a-half trip, Corwin, you've gotten a better body build. You get a +1 to strength, but you do suffer 1 exhaustion from working out so much. Your body's generally very sore right now. Ugh, my throat.
Me this morning.
Get swole.
Get
Okay. Let me go to the
What was
next.
the goal size of the prize?
Des Moines. Over the course of this trip, you've been practicing your loot as much as possible, trying to figure out new and weird ways you can cast your magic. And jealous of what Rios is able to do with his loot, you started figuring out unique ways to cast your magic. And you have learned one thing. You have been able to use as long as it is magically attuned to you, you can strum on a guitar string or a lute string to cast a spell. Instead of waving your hand,
Cool.
now you can strum on the actual lute itself to cast a spell instead of having to use your hands. If it wasn't already, your lute is magically attuned to you.
Beautiful.
Hell yeah.
That is really cool.
Okay. About another day and a half passes. You guys have all pulled aside the cart as there is a traveling merchant. It's an elderly lady, but Flanagan has taken interest into it because Mort took interest into it. As Mort jumps off the wagon, he's running over, and he's like, "Guys, we gotta do this!" And it's a elderly lady, and she's advertising prophecies. And she wants to offer a prophecy to each of you on your fortunes.
Yeah.
Sure.
You all hop in line, and Mort goes up first. And it's like, "It's 1 silver piece if you would like your prophecy read." Mort kind of turns to you guys, jumping up and down. He's like, "Can I have a silver piece?"
I'm gonna lean down and give him one.
Okay. You give him a silver piece, and he gives it to her. He says, "Give me your hands, young one." And he gives his hands over to the elderly lady, and she closes her eyes. And he's like, "Close your eyes." And he closes his eyes, and he says, "Ooh." Ooh. Someday you will receive a wooden train of your greatest dreams. And Mort just like jumps up with glee, not knowing that she knew that that was his favorite toy. She lets go, and he's overjoyed for the small amount of information he was given. And he hops aside and gets ready to let one of you go up. Who wants to go up?
I do.
Demonia, you go up. Just 1 silver piece, and I'll read your fortune.
Pass it over.
You pass over the silver piece, and she takes your hands in hers. She goes, close your eyes.
Reluctantly close them.
And she says, huh. Ooh. That's... Oh, no.
I expect
Fair
that.
enough.
I just know.
I
Makes
hear
sense.
music. I see music. But not the tones of melody, no. They sound like music of misery and failure. I'm so sorry. And she lets go. He's like, if you'd like your money back, I understand.
Stop it. Any more than that? Just sad music?
That's all I can see.
Just a timeline, maybe?
No.
Ballpark?
That's not really how it works.
All right.
If I get date, time, that'd be great.
Yeah, just a ballpark 6 to 12 months, 8 days.
She kind of just
Right.
like shoos you aside, like she's trying to get the next customer to come up.
Wait, like,
Like, I can't even.
Who goes up next?
I'm
I'll
gonna
go.
pat Finny on the back. Okay, there you go.
Kerwin.
I lost my pen.
And she takes your hands in hers, both close your eyes, and she goes,
Sorry, they're a little scarred.
oh my. All of you. I see. Oh no. And she says, I see chains. I see lies and deception. Betrayal amongst friends. She opens her eyes again and looks into yours. She goes, I'm so sorry.
Alright, who's betraying me?
I don't know. I feel the
It might be
anger
me.
of
I'm
betrayal.
failure.
I'll betray you for you from some gold.
Well, I suspect that.
Okay.
The Flanagan goes up next. Takes his hands into hers, and she goes, huh. Each of you. Oh my god. She goes, I see you standing alone. You're haunted. I see the sea, rushing water. That's it. She looks at Flanagan, and Flanagan kind of just like looks back at her, and he lets go and steps aside. Orweeb.
Orweeb is a little apprehensive. She really believes in this kind of stuff, and she's scared.
Do you choose something to go forward?
Nah, she'll go forward, but reluctantly.
Okay, you step forward, and she takes your hands into hers, and she says, I see the forests and the animals, but the roots, they're an illusion. Falsivity. That's all I see.
What does that mean?
It's for you to decipher how you want.
Okay,
She seems to be a very cryptic and poetic elderly lady.
I could tell.
I sense that.
You see Steve
Oh,
kind of approaches as
idea.
well. And she kneels down and she takes a paw from Steve. He goes, this one's
Wait.
free.
Takes a paw. I have a Steve stand-in. Not Steve, but looks a hell of a lot like him.
Not Steve. Hi, Dinky. Steve Jr.
I think this is Steve all the time.
Me too.
He says, I see a bright light.
Oh
Right.
no.
Almost blinding.
Don't go.
Don't follow it.
Steve, please.
Don't listen to him.
The light is
Don't listen to
the
him.
light is so bright, so blinding, it's consuming everything. He'll be the first of his kind to travel so far away. And she lets go of his paw, and she just kind of mews and walks back over to you guys.
I'm gonna pick him up and hold him.
You pick him up and you hold him in your arms.
I'm gonna look at the
Okay.
lady and be like, "Well, thanks for that." Just get back in the
I
car.
I'm sorry you guys have such bad vibes, but
Really boosting
That's the-
morale.
that's
Appreciate
the
you.
prophecy. She takes her cart.
Sorry,
She
I have
starts
such bad vibes.
starts strolling down the
Bad
travel
bye,
path.
Bob. Just that's us. Just let us.
I feel like we just got swindled just to be told things we already knew, and she just wanted to bring them out. The things we try to keep in our little boxes.
Yeah, she's a hoax. Get in the truck.
Yeah, we're-
in the truck.
In the
truck.
horse car.
Get on the
Okay.
fucking carriage.
All right.
Damn.
It's another couple of nights later. Everyone in the wagon is asleep except for Corwin. Corwin, you grow curious about everything that's happening with you, and you pull out your special stone given to you by Zachariah. You hold it in your hands and you contemplate what you want to do next. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna hold the stone and then kind of like pull out the talisman also, and kind of look at it and see the large crack that's in it. Like, oh, yeah, I should probably, and then kind of like speak into the stone, like, hey, Zachariah, I don't know of how this rock works, but you said speak into it and you'd be able to hear me, so I'm trying to reach out. I don't know if this is like a letter, but I need to talk to you about the talisman that has a big old crack in it. I don't know if there's a way to mend it or what this really means. Oh, if you could get back to me, that would be great. Oh, sincerely, Corwin Attleberry.
You wait for a few moments. Corwin Attleberry? Who's that? You hear echo through the stone.
Oh,
Yeah.
Zachariah,
Said
are
who
you in?
is-
Are you in the rock?
I'm over in the Waterfall Citadel.
Oh, do you remember the feller who was in the tavern who was having the really bad illness that you helped out with? It violent shakes, my eyes were rolling back. I'm incredibly hideous.
Oh, Corwin Attleberry.
He said I look horrible.
What is going on, Corwin Attleberry?
So that talisman that you gave me because I astral walk or dream walk or something like that, and you gave me a talisman to stop that.
Yep.
So because it's causing terrible headaches, the talisman itself is breaking. There's a large crack in it, and I recall you saying if that were to happen, that I need to go do something. I just don't remember what that was.
Oh, well, your affliction is very unique, Corwin Attleberry, and I would suggest take a trip down to the Dry Hook Tower. And there exists many wizards who have trained in the art for a long, long, long time. Once you get there, there should be somebody who could know more about your afflictions. But what the talisman is cracking because, in a sense, the curse placed upon you is related to a magic source, and when the magic source overflows, it sort of tries to break down the gate, which metaphorically is the talisman.
Oh. So, do I need to... So there's nothing really I can do. It's going to break regardless of what happens then.
Yeah, but it should take a pretty long time.
Oh, this is a large crack, mate. Like, I can get a fingernail to get into it.
I would say, as soon as there's enough cracks... I'll tell you what. You probably shouldn't have much to worry about until a piece breaks off.
Okay, alright.
If it chips at all, or you lose a part of the talisman, like let's say the corner edge kind of cracks and falls off,
Mm-hmm.
Get your ass to that tower or you're gonna die.
Right. Yeah, I remember you saying it's like maybe 2 weeks I have until I die.
Yeah, once the talisman fully breaks, you got about 2 weeks. The problem is, this affliction is so powerful that it causes aneurysms inside our brains, which in
Right.
turn kills you.
Right.
You look at that.
Okay. So just peace breaks. Get to the hook. Go to the dry tower. Talk to the wizards.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Rock Zachariah.
No problem, Corwin Attleberry, and Godspeed.
Yeah. How do I? All right, bye. How are you always going to be on this now?
Yeah, maybe.
All right. If you hear weird sounds, it's probably me screaming or something. All
Okay.
right. I'm gonna put it in my bag.
You stow it away, and you kind of
little
hear what
pager.
sounds like somebody shuffling in the wagon. And O'Flanagan kind of like opens his eyes a little bit, rubs his eyes, he looks over to you.
And we're talking to rocks now. Whoa.
All right. I know I do weird things, but that rock was Zachariah. I know how that's. Okay.
Zachahoo.
That rock was Zachariah.
Zachariah was in the rock for a moment, so I could talk to him. Due to my affliction with the talisman, the big crack that's in it now. I could possibly die if the talisman breaks. It breaks, I die. I was talking to the guy who gave me talisman through a rock.
Hmm.
I might go back to bed.
That's fair.
He starts shuffling a little bit and kind of starts like getting ready to go back to bed.
Norman would understand. That's fine, but it's whatever.
Just a moment.
He said he is inside the rock. He's in there.
Zachariah is now in this rock.
He cannot explain things for shit. He's like, he's in the rock.
Yeah. I
He
don't see why
invented
this.
cell phones.
I don't know why this is complicated.
Yeah. You guys are pretty close to Bane's Rock now, and about another day has passed. You've had about a week and a half in the trip, but it is the last night before arrival into Bane's Rock.
Mhm.
You guys have kind of stopped the horses, you've unpacked, you've set up a little campfire, you're cooking some food again, resting, chatting, talking. Give me a second. As you guys
Take
are
your
all
time, Dad.
around the campfire, you see O'Flanagan just kind of has like this little steak with a fish at the end. He's kind of cooking it on the fire. He speaks out.
I hope Bane's Rock is somewhat, fun. I could have.
Fun.
I mean, they're supposed to have great ale, so I'm pretty excited for that.
Mate, we're going to deal with children being stolen.
I know. I'm just saying. Maybe
These-
the ale part will be fun.
These people are having issues with
For
children.
linings, Orwin. Orwin.
How long have
Whatever
we
that
been?
is.
How long have we been together? Now it's Corwin with a C or a K.
I never do that.
The C.
C or K.
It's like
You
corn.
even know.
As you guys are chatting, you hear what sounds like a twig crack.
No.
Hmm.
Pretty
Can I
far.
use
You're
my-
pretty central south now. You're in the Strange Lands. It's a pretty big, dense forest type deal. It's the dead of night. You hear the crickets sounding. There's a little bit of wind breeze. But for
I'm
the
in my
most part,
zone.
it's
Can I
pretty
do a
quiet.
survival check to see what that little creek in the woods was?
Yeah.
Creek in the woods.
Or do a nature check? Fuck,
Yep.
I already did the... Okay. I'll redo that as a nature check.
'Kay.
That was bad.
He said I didn't do for the roll, I promise.
That was so
23.
much better. Oh my god,
Oh.
23.
Alright. You guys see, Orbweeb is looking to
Her
the
ears
forest
perk up
line.
like a fucking cat.
Orbweeb, give me an intimidation check. Or sorry, give me a charisma save, not an intimidation check.
Okay. A save?
Yeah.
Damn. 12.
You guys see Orbweeb is frozen, like her skin has turned pale, and she's staring at the forest lines.
Fuck, what do I see?
You guys look in
Investigation?
that general direction, and you hear what sounds like a hiss, like Steve's fur is shooting up, and he's hissing back at whatever is hissing in the forest lines. O'Flanagan seems to look over, and he slowly draws his dagger, and he just goes,
Nobody make any sudden moves.
What is it?
Corwin, you guys both look, and Mort's like, what is that? And coming out of the forest lines, he's baring its fangs, goes, and it crawls out. You see multiple black tails. Its skin is dark as night. It has black pupils with purple irises. It crawls out of the forest, its claws digging into the dirt as it's crawling out like it's some kind of giant cat. A displacer beast has presented itself and is hissing at all of you. You watch as it gets closer and closer, disappears in a puff of smoke, and teleports to the left side and reappears again. Then it hisses, teleports again on the other side of the camp, hisses again, teleports again, and now there's 3 of them in front of you. And that is where the
Alright.
session will end.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
That has
Already had a
been
plan!
Subspace D&D. That was a pretty fun episode. All right.
That was solid.
I'll see you guys in the next episode, and until then, that's it. Later, guys.
Doodle-oodle.